Yo,
Hello, Satoshi. What you doing?
just digging into Kaspa. It's wild, Elon.
Are you alone?
What's up? What's up?
What's going on? Who's that?
Jack, go to our chat.
What's up? What's up?
Yo, Mike, grab the line.
Yo. What's up?
So, what you doing, Elon?
Oh man, just buying, flying, Kaspa to Mars and in stars.
Me too. Me too.
Crypto bling, come list, it's hot, big chain, go spot, chains fast, no lag, we're clean, grid dag,
No lag, no pain, smart ready, no chain of vein. Spot us, we glow, contract set, let's go.
About what they've got and what's cooking. Maybe we'll get some alpha from them. And we are also joined by KFC Cryptolytics right here next to us on stage, and we're diving deep into their upcoming products that are coming out and services on KAS and through KFC, as well as Kaspa and Wolf coming up to say hello and what's going on with them too.
Absolutely fantastic. I'm obviously looking forward to this one, but I think we should press on because I know Pavel is on a time crunch and we want to get as much info out of Pavel as possible for the upcoming IGRA Labs. So Pavel, how are you doing?
Doing well, and I kind of now feel bad for rushing you guys into it. I I have a full hour. It just I have to hop off afterwards. Unfortunately, like family requests my brutal
Yeah,
help in moving things around.
yeah, it's no problem at all. Like I said, it's
A driver of the family. That's my privilege. That's my actually real job. Eager is just just a pet project. Like I'm just driving my family around in the car. That's what I'm doing normally.
high class chauffeur.
Yes, exactly. That's the career. That's the career of my dreams. But yeah, like happy to be here, guys. Really, thanks for inviting me.
No, I appreciate the time, and obviously, like we do know you've got a bit of a time crunch, so really do appreciate the time that you're giving up for this. Yeah, I suppose if you're good with it, then we can dive in and get some updates on IGRA and what you guys are up to.
Oh yeah, happy to. That's the great timing. We're actually about like we're polishing the post for X tomorrow, so this is going to be kind of yeah, like the real alpha, I hope. So yeah, like finally Caravelle is not running on our hardware. It runs on our close community hardware. So our nodes are on, like several nodes are online with open RPC endpoints. Like we're fixing last things with our node operators. Like really grateful to these people like who stepped up and offered their services and hardware and time. It wasn't super trivial, of course, to set up the nodes, make sure they synced, make sure like everything worked as expected. Like we had several hiccups, but that's exactly what like what's great about this milestone. It's not just on our laptop now. I'm working on software like 20 years, and there's always like there are two big milestones. Like the first, when software finally not just run on developer's laptop, but it runs on so-called staging environment. Because developers always have this kind of excuse. It's working on my machine, right? Like it's on my machine, it's working. But then when you tell them on user's machine, on customer machine, it doesn't work, they kind of, oh, I don't know what they do. I don't care. So that's so the first really important milestone in any software development is just to push this software in some kind of like testing environment, the staging environment. And then obviously the second and like most important thing is to put it into production, like for real usage, for real users, for real thing. So we currently at this first stage, we're in the staging environment, our software running on other people machines, like different machines, very diverse. I have also Node on my MacBook Pro. Like some people have Ubuntu, some people have like some really weird compiled Linux. We never expected that, but it's really interesting that nodes is like all our nodes are running in this environment. So yeah, bottom line is like this means like decentralization is in motion because our like external operators now running nodes, and like after we polish things with these people who I'm like, stressing it, it's not IGRA employers, they're not affiliated with us in any way. It's just people who came to us, and you can also ask them directly after we publish what was the experience, if it's real, if software is real. So we want to make sure that it's not us who running this. We're not interested in running our nodes. Like that's how decentralization works. We want to make sure that everyone can run IGRA node. So this is very important step for us. So external operators will run nodes, send transactions, and just show that, yeah, Kaspa Block Duck can support a live EVM rollup. That's our goal. It's the same goal as always. And yeah, if this will holds, then yeah, we hope that it will become foundation for whatever comes next. We can just distribute more nodes and bring on board more operators. So yeah, I'm like very excited about this, to be honest. There will be documentation about known limitations. I hope that later this week, although I'm not committing to this, my team would kill me. But I really hope the dashboard will be ready, like so people can also see nodes running in this dashboard, like see actually like the real health checks, stuff like that. And yeah, so this is very important part for us. Super happy, very tired, very excited. Yeah, and very important update for our builders community. The DevNet will be retired and sunset next week. So it also will be in socials. Obviously, we're going also to announce it on Discord. So yeah, no worries. Like you have time. But and we'll assist you to migrate to real testnet. But then yeah, the DevNet served its purpose. It was a great first test environment. But now we need to move on to real thing, and this is kind of this milestone actually means like we already in a real IGRA testnet. So that's what's going on. Then yeah, we refine, stabilize, onboard ecosystem projects. Like we're constantly speaking with great teams. Like super happy to have more and more people working in Kaspa ecosystem. So yeah, big deal.
Yeah, I mean, you guys have really done a brilliant job there with node distribution as well. Like you said, you want to try and get the nodes as far spread as possible to decentralize your layer 2 as much as possible. Was that the point of the Caravel testnet, was to
Yeah.
sort of test out the nodes and like you said, not everyone's going to have the same hardware. So was it sort of a stress test of multiple different hardware as well?
Exactly. It's several things in parallel. Like first of all, and that's also a very important thing, that every node has its own RPC endpoint. So if you want to have a really strong, really fast, super optimized RPC, RPC is essentially the interface through which you send your L2 transactions into the L1. That's standard for any EVM chain. So if you want to have like very performant RPC, you can run your own node like on your strong hardware, optimize it the way you see fit. And we believe this is going to happen because we also don't see ourselves as a gatekeepers. We don't want to be like RPC providers for the community. It's not our business. Like it's a very like specific thing. Like if you look at Infura, for example, or Alchemy, they provide this kind of services for Ethereum ecosystem. And that's just the whole company built just around this kind of thing. So we hope that in the future, of course, community will be running our RPC endpoints. So yeah, the testing them is very important. Testing RPC throughput is very important. I can tell you right away, it's not really great at this moment. Like it's not optimized, not in the slightest. We should still spend significant time to make sure we achieve this 30,000 TPS like flawlessly. We're not there yet, but then yeah, it's a very important step because again, making this work on our own hardware wouldn't be super telling, right? Because again, the whole system's supposed to be decentralized. Anyone should be able to send L2 transactions to layer 1 via their own node, via their own RPC. So then yeah, that's why we actively pushing this software to people's machine, and also to see how our software behave in the wild non-protective environment. It's like I like a lot of things about Solana, for example, but I'm not a big fan about their hardware requirements, for example. So for us, improving it and making it performant is very important part of our roadmap. And again, what we're doing currently is a first step on this road.
So is the hardware requirements that you've got at the moment for running an IGRA node, is that say just using Solana as an example, is that a lot less I'm trying to think of the word, but is it a lot less
demanding?
Yes,
maybe.
exactly. Perfect. That's a perfect word. Is it a lot less demanding than say something like Solana?
Yes. Our minimum spec is 8 cores, 32 gigabytes of RAM, something like 2 terabytes of storage. Network, it's better if you close to 1 gigabyte, but then like and have it as a dedicated channel. But then, yeah, even of my home network, which is not super great, again, internet here in Germany is nothing to be proud of, unfortunately. It's not like roads or bridges or heavy machinery. Internet is still getting there, sadly. But still, even on my local, again, MacBook Pro, which is 2021, is not super updated. You can see I cannot afford the proper hardware for me just yet, because we need to make sure that our developers has everything. And then on my own MacBook Pro, it runs quite good. It took some time to sync with with Kaspa testnet upstream, but then it's regardless of hardware. Like, you need to spend some time on catching up with network, and then you're good. So yeah, short answer is its requirements are modest compared to Solana. Again, we're aiming for, one wise guy from Ethereum community said, like, ideally Node should run on a toaster.
Oh, I love that. So with Igra's nodes, for example, does the hardware requirement get more over time? Because, like, obviously with Kaspa, the hardware requirement is sort of set because of pruning. With
Yeah.
Igra, does it grow over time, if you know what I mean?
Yeah, storage will grow over time. There is no way around it. Like, we have this performance oriented storage solution called Atan, which improves things, but it still takes some considerable storage. But then, storage will grow. But I think there is several ways to approach this. You can optimize storage on your node in many different ways, and essentially you can have light nodes with less demand for storage, which will synchronize with other bigger archival nodes from the network. I think kudos to Casplex, who did great job in their documentation, actually splitting different kind of nodes. I think that's a very great way of approaching this. So it make a lot of sense, this separation between different types of nodes, making one maybe less a little bit less trustless, but more optimized in terms of storage, or make full archival node which keeps everything, but then it's demanded on storage, but then it's fully trustless. I mean, decentralization is a spectrum, obviously. So one size doesn't fit all. Like in Bitcoin world, if you want to be you can use other people nodes, or you can use your own node and be fully secure. That's your choice, essentially.
Yeah, that's perfect. So with talking about optimization of nodes and obviously storage requirements over time, and I know ZK opcodes are pretty further in the future for CAS mainnet, but when ZK opcodes come around, will that really help with storage requirements on nodes?
Tremendously, of course. That's one of the biggest features which zero knowledge, native verification of zero knowledge claims will proofs essentially on layer one will do for layer twos. Like, all layer twos from the now on can actually cut their demands for storage and just operate with light nodes. I think you should still have, we think you should still have this full archival node for all kind of data availability use cases. And it makes sense. But from now on, from the moment zero knowledge opcodes are implemented, and obviously they supported on layer two, you can prune L2 state, you can have light nodes, and you save very, very modest amount of transactions just through the 24 window or similar. It's yet to come, but it will be a big upgrade.
Yeah, I bet everyone can't wait for that. But obviously, it's something that's got to be bought out properly, if you know what I mean. And I think I do actually really like that about Kaspa and the layer one is when anything's approached or improved upon, they really do make sure it's right and done in the right way. And like Michael Sutton even said, he like it makes sense to do the ZK opcodes alongside Dagnite, and we know Dagnite is going to be a hell of a lot of a challenge anyway. So ZK opcodes are probably going to be a bit further along the line, but the main thing is obviously the solutions that the layer twos, yourselves and Casplex as well, the solutions you've got at the moment will obviously last for a fairly long time anyway. And is that due to the ATANs that are being run?
You mean if add-ons allow us to run for a longer time, or like what's the?
Yeah, sorry. So do the ATANs actually allow you to, like the storage requirement, make
Yeah,
storage requirements easier?
yeah. I think even with like peak usage of like 3000 TPS, in our current form, we can run for like 1 year at least, like without running out of storage normal storage requirements. I have to be very careful with words here because like people obviously will ask for specific numbers later. And I really like it when people come to my DMs or comments and then just ask me specifics. That's the best questions, but still, I don't have specific numbers just yet. Yes, ATAN is aimed to prolong our timeline pre-ZK. And actually, like we think that for some use cases and some organizations, to put it this way, actually having like our current based rollup architecture is more beneficial than to have zero knowledge. Like there are some security assumptions with which they just, again, have to be very careful with words here. But zero knowledge is amazing technology. It's magic technology. Like it still looks for the like wide adoption, but I think like this, our layer tools on Kaspa can be one of the first examples of the real adoption of zero knowledge for real world infrastructure. But then it's not like it wasn't tested like for 5 or even 10 years. It has a really low so-called lindiness. So I know some people who very kind of pragmatic and conservative, and they prefer to use technology which they understand. And based rollup technology, what we currently have pre-ZK, you can call it classic, comparing with Ethereum Classic, for example. So this classic basic rollup has very obvious and clear, understandable security properties, right? Like, and it's for some people, it's enough. Like jumping immediately on zero knowledge wagon wouldn't be really wise for some big organization. And we do talking with some really big organizations who want to actually try out Kaspa, or already did, but now they want to also make the next steps.
Oh wow! So the big I don't know how much you can say, but these big organisations that are looking at utilising Kaspa, did you say they're sort of waiting for ZK on Kaspa, or they're actively
No,
looking now?
I think they're actively looking. That's look, Kaspa brings like the recent posts from Jonathan. They obviously brought a lot of turned a lot of heads. Like this is really bold vision. People looking at it. Wait,
I'm not sure if you've cut out or not, or can anyone hear me?
Yeah, I got you loud and clear. I think he maybe he got busy in the back end. So, but he's it looks like he's wrestling with his mic there. It's going mute on and on unmute. So I think he may be having some technical difficulties.
such a shame because we got to such a critical point.
Yeah, I think he's resetting the space and should be joining us back
Hi,
on the
guys.
panel.
Hey guys.
Oh, here we go.
We can hear you. Yeah.
Yeah. No idea what happened. Yeah,
It's that dodgy German internet connection.
Exactly. That's what. Yes. Dodgy German internet. The internet. It's killing me. It's really easy. You cannot even leave the room without losing your connection. Yeah. Yeah, I was about to say that Jonathan's vision definitely turned some heads, and people really check this out. It's a slow process. Don't expect like people again jump immediately on what we're building as well, like from the day one. And we're also not going to allow it because letting the real world usage like from the day one on infrastructure of this scale. But yeah, there are some people thinking about this. Like people think that combination of proof of stake and proof of work make a lot of sense. It just, yeah, I think what we need as a community to develop this success is double down on real world use cases, real projects. Maybe some, yes, take ideas from existing programmable chains, but then also expand it, make real payments, real payments infrastructure, real finance infrastructure. All these things are very important to get them right. And obviously we cannot build them alone. So yeah, that's why our community and ecosystem is super important for, you know, expanding this vision, moving it forward, and then yeah, big institutions will come.
Yeah, I mean, I think you touched on a really important point there as well about like bigger players that are looking. They're obviously looking from the sidelines in, but but it does take time because no big player is just going to all of a sudden switch over to something because it seems better. Like big players, they'll move slower, a lot slower, and that's because they have to. It's not. It's like big organisations are a big engine and a big machine, and yeah, they can't just switch over everything on a whim. So it may even be like where it happens bit by bit, but they'll obviously want to see things working and operating properly before they even attempt to switch. But it's really good that. And I do think this anyway. I think there's quite a lot of big organisations that are secretly looking in and seeing how development goes.
Yeah, we have people watching from sidelines really closely. Believe me, it's yeah, they're not vocal on Twitter. They're not kind of they're not engaging in battles with Bitcoiners. Sorry for this, guys, but yeah, I think I have my own very special opinion about this. Don't really think it's super useful. But yeah, that's just me. I understand that some people want just to kind of bring Kaspa world further. But I think building something and bringing real users and actually convincing real organizations and companies to come and use this infrastructure is much, much better and useful than debating what is the real money and what's the real storage of value, etc., etc.
I agree with that completely, man. I don't know about you, Chris, but I've been saying it from the beginning. These, well, most of these Bitcoiners, they're just looking for clout to get paid from the rev share, man. So I completely agree with what you're saying.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like it was actually you who I was talking to before, Pavel, when we met at Wolfie's Bar, and yeah, it made me realise as well, actually, like a lot of the community seem to be going for such a small percentage of the population, which is Bitcoiners. I mean, I think it's like what 6% of the population are in crypto, and then you've got to look at how much of that percentage are actually in Bitcoin, and it's sort of like we're trying to win these people over, but we've got the whole world to try and convince. And I think when Kaspa, especially when layer 2s and smart contracts come online, it's going to have so many benefits for real world use case that actually we can reach people in the real world and make them understand the true beauty of decentralization and like having security, being your own bank, but also having other different use cases like payment rails for businesses and so on. So I think actually it's going to be a really net positive to go after the rest of the world than just solely focus on different communities within crypto.
Yeah, fully agree. I mean, guys, that's there is a whole world to take on. If we believe that this like several percent of the population is like all the people who care about privacy, like better finance, like self custody, and all these things, then yeah, I think we're already lost, because it means crypto is a niche, and we just play in kind of like the niche game. I don't believe that. Like I'm in this industry from 2017, also as a user, and I think we have so much to offer also as alternative finance infrastructure, also as just a better infrastructure for all kind of applications. If you check out the recent posts from Yoni, you will see that this vision is not just for kind of crypto finance payments or something. It's just about building like the better apps, the provable apps, which inherit security from the block DAC and protected by this consensus. You can build like so many different use cases. It's just, yeah, we very early. But again, we're not early because Kaspa price will appreciate or something. It's not about price, it's about adoption.
Yeah, I mean that's so true. Like I get people that are invested early and just people that are invested anyway, like even myself. People want to make money, that's understandable. But it does become so much bigger than that. It becomes like this could technically be, and I do genuinely believe this anyway, with robots that are coming online and AI and things like that. Crypto is going to be a massive part of the new sort of industrial revolution that we're already witnessing now. And I think I believe Kaspa is going to be a big part of that, or hope that Kaspa will be a big part of that anyway, because of and it's not because of some cultish reason and because I want to pump my bags. It's because I genuinely see that there's going to be a genuine use case for this within the world, and then the byproduct of that is money go up or price go up probably. But for me now, in where I am in my life, the main goal is to be, well, for me personally, to be my own bank. So that for me is massive. But for companies, they may not care about being their own bank, but they may care about pinging information like at the speed of the internet will allow, in a decentralized and secure manner. I mean, to businesses alone, that sort of operation there is massive. Whether it's payment rails, whether it's just data, information, whatever it is that they need pinging across the world, they want it settled quickly and securely. So yeah, I think Kaspa is really gearing up to be a big mover in the crypto space and beyond, to be honest with you. I mean, really, that's that's actually what we want. We don't want people to even realise half the time that they're using Kaspa, that they're using crypto. I think it will just be a case of, much like even on a payment processors, people don't actually understand what happens when they tap a card or tap their phone. What they do understand is the money gets deducted and then or sent to their bank account. And so they don't need to know the inner gubbins of it. They just need to know that what they want to happen happens. But what will be brilliant with Kaspa is that obviously it can happen and they get settlement literally within seconds.
Yeah, I agree. I think we're going to see several infrastructures joining and serving as an underlying backbone for just different user experiences, demographics, like the websites today. Like you want to use whatever technology, use whatever technology. But there are some very distinct, specific parts about blockchains, obviously. Like you build your application, you build your infrastructure the way it's verifiable, auditable, and allows for self-custody. These properties are very unique comparing to like traditional IT solutions so far. And I think world still need to digest that. World still need to get used to the idea that you can have several banks which are fully transparent and their transactions are transparent and auditable. You cannot hide things. You can try, but then people will see that you're doing something questionable. And this is like current banks finance system is completely opaque. Crypto, like on-chain finance, is transparent, verifiable, and actually that's the real competition for user. Like I can leave Avi tomorrow by clicking the button. I cannot leave Deutsche Bank even in several months because it's because of the paperwork and because of the price to switch to different bank provider. Like I can like send money like in through in to any country through any border without take care what's going on the other side, and this money won't be blocked because someone didn't like this transaction. And I have nothing to hide, by the way. Like I am completely compliant. I can prove this transaction is legal. It's just I don't want bank actually to take part from it and also to block it on the whim. So yeah, I think crypto is going to change the world, and I think we see very positive changes in the landscape, the legal landscape as well, especially in US around this. So yeah, fingers crossed. We're here, like we're on crypto.
And then, like, obviously going on to what IGRA are building out as well, and just smart contracts coming online to Kaspa anyway. It really does just open up a whole new world to Kaspa, because then we now have programmability on something that at the moment is really what some people consider hard money. So to be able to have programmability with that as well is just a massive use case for not just everyday people, but like really for businesses, for industry. It really will help with growth, I think, anyway.
If you expect me to like to counter to this, I'm not going to. Like yeah, you're preaching to the choir, and this yeah, I think connecting between these two worlds, versatility of modern blockchains, programmable blockchains, and the security of proof of work is the holy grail. Like performant proof of work can make a big difference. Programmable proof of work will make even bigger difference. And programmable proof of work, performant programmable proof of work with real use case and real users, this will be a win. This is an end game.
Do you think industry and like institutions in general, do you think they understand the difference between a proof of work with true programmability compared to just say proof of stakes?
They do. The short answer, they do. Every big institution have a research team. These people are very smart. They know everything about different types of consensus. They know about challenges of proof of stake. Ethereum world knows really well that proof of stake is very dangerous and it leads to centralization of the capital, and essentially like it's like to lose all the like properties, initial properties of decentralized ledger. Unfortunately, it's just they opportunistic. They follow the money, and they also follow the proven solution. Like for big guns, it's very important to use something which is proven, certified, don't give you any troubles. So yeah, just using young technology without real credit, without real team behind it, it's really hard. So it's not about like them being, you know, stubborn or something, not recognizing. They do recognize the advantages of that. Like I had several talks with like very smart people in the industry, researchers, like also founders of like really big projects in Ethereum and Solana ecosystem. They all know obviously that proof of work is in many regards it's much better, but it's really hard to create performant proof of work and foster it. They think that this task is too hard, so it's better to use proof of stake, which has kind of all kind of problems, but then it's just easy to solve it just with money. See, so it's a kind of, it's a known evil. It's not like they're stupid. They just chose it because of because they need to follow the money and to build proper things. Unfortunately, Kaspa is one of the few projects of its kind. It's not mainstream, and unfortunately, in this case, not being a mainstream is not a good thing. Like being unorthodox, being rebel, contrarian about things is good things when you kind of want to build yourself like your identity in life. I think it's very important, especially in the young age, to be contrarian about all things, not believe in anything, like in any conventional truths. But then when you want to build something for the big audience, for the real people, for the real user base, you have to be mainstream in a way. You have to help these people to solve their problems. You cannot be contrarian. You cannot tell people, actually, you want to use my infrastructure even if it's terrible, because it's great. No, they will come if they will see that we solve their real problem. Payments is just one of them. Like there are many real world use cases which waiting to be solved, and not but by hand waving, not by creating the beautiful designs of applications which will never work. By going there in the trenches, that's how real work looks like. You go there, you build, you give it to your users, they tell you it's complete bollocks. You go back to the whiteboard, you create new version and new version until you actually finally create something which your users want. And it means your website will go down, your infrastructure will break because users will come in millions and they will demand you will give them what they want. It's called product market fit. Without product market fit, all we build is just beautiful infrastructure, beautiful engineering dream, which nobody needs. Building which people doesn't need is the worst thing that engineers should spend their time on. That's my opinion. If you work on research, if you're like in science, it's all fine. Of course, you can spend 20 years in fundamental research, but in my world, in software and product development, you need to build something which people need. You need to find product market fit. That's essential. And that's, I think it's a big area of development in crypto. Like so many brilliant people work on completely useless things, just engineering dreams. And here I think that's smart contracts on Kaspa. That's actually the gateway. That's connector between real world and the beautiful infrastructure, but which is severely underused. It's underutilized. We should bring real transaction volume, real people, real use cases, and then we'll see. You will see. I will see that Kaspa Block shines. It actually can support the real business of million people. That's the goal, not just 1 million transactions per second. Okay, I have 1 million transactions per second on my laptops. So what?
Absolutely love that, and it is so true. Like people will, and certainly industry will flock to something that benefits them, and it may be a slow process, but it's sort of a domino effect where when as soon as one person does it, like the rest soon follow, because they can see that the competitors actually getting more benefit out of it. I'm sure it's pretty much like when I don't know, fax machine and then email come around. Like people that adopted the email soon, the fax machine soon went out the window type thing. And I think that will happen with Kaspa, and it's and this is why I'm so happy that smart contracts are coming to Kaspa, because one, we do need to think about the fee market sooner rather than later, and I do believe that this will bring massive transaction volume to Kaspa's layer one, which is fantastic. I mean, even if you look at, and some people have asked me to talk about this, but like, even if you look at the meme coins that have just come out about Jonathan's turtle, I think you've got a few, Slow and Bertel, I think, and maybe a few others. But
Yeah, that's
but
hilarious. This
yeah,
thing
I
is
know.
hilarious.
Like the whole interview, and that's what the Kaspa community clung on to. Like, there's so much good stuff in there, but people clung on to a turtle named Bitcoin. But either or, I mean, it, like, for me, it doesn't matter. That they're just meme coins, and that's what, like, even some of, like, I know certainly Slow are quite happy with the fact that they are literally just a meme coin, nothing else. They're not producing anything. They're just a community-driven meme coin, and that's fine. But it is feeding miners, which is fantastic, and it is showing the volume that of transactions that Kaspa can handle. And I'm really looking forward to. I remember when Casplex launched KRC20 and the boom that we had there in transaction volume. The real beauty of all of that for me was seeing Kaspa actively handle that amount of volume perfectly, and at 1 block per second as well. It was a beautiful thing to see. And now we're at 10 blocks per second, and we've got smart contracts that are getting, or layer twos that are getting built out on Kaspa as well. I'm really looking forward to seeing how Kaspa will handle that volume as well, because I think there's going to be a hell of a lot of it. So yeah, I think what you guys are doing an absolutely fantastic job, and I love seeing the way that all the layer twos that are getting built out at the moment are building out their architecture. I think it's a fantastic job what you're doing with the nodes. I really do like seeing that, and I'm glad that that it's gone well. The Caravelle testnet has gone well so far, and you're progressing and moving on to other things, or moving on to developers coming on and really testing out as well. With the nodes, did you say it was 6 or 7 nodes that you had running?
Yeah, not including ourselves, not including our internal ones.
So good. And is this people that approached you, or is this people that you?
Yeah, they approached. It was first come first served, more or less. I think the moment we announced about nodes, I don't remember exactly. I think it was 2 months ago, months and a half at least. Like, there are dozens of people mentioned they want to run a node. Please put me on the list. I put them on the list, then I came back to them, asked them, are you still up for it? And whoever told me yes, and whoever actually implemented all this, because it's also not super trivial. Like, it's requires some skills. Like, you need to be handy with command line and Docker and this kind of things. And then, yeah, it just happened. I can't say we cherry picked a lot. I have like one person like who I know like from like 5 projects ago, but again, we're not working together. He's not affiliated. It's just I knew he will, like, how to set this thing up. He actually gave us tons of super useful feedback. Not just him, not just my friend. It's also like all these new node operators when just came, checked the software and told us this doesn't work, this is not the way you can configure it, you better improve this, improve readme. That's the beauty of the whole, that's why open source wins, already won the world essentially. Like, when people come together and start to discuss something, you always get the better software. When you show something to people, they always will give you perspective you never had. Build something in isolation doesn't make any sense. It's like this pull request our Igor made to Rust execution client. It's just, it was fantastic. Like, people came like from the Rust team. They they checked it out, they suggested ways to fix it or like how to test it, because they were interested in the result, obviously. Like the paradigm, they do the things in the right way. They understand that Reth is one of the backbones of the Ethereum. So we wanted to follow exactly the same path. We want to build in the open. If you don't build in the open, you're dead in this industry. As simple as that. As simple as that.
But it's like you said as well, like the feedback you get is priceless, really, because but because these people are really stress testing this as well, and that will only well, I can only imagine that will only help you guys really tweak everything to exactly how you want it, which is fantastic. And again, that's the point of test nets and testing things out before you go live, is you want to try and break things, because as soon as you've broken something, you can fix it and know which direction you need to go in. So yeah, I think that's a fantastic job. You're testing out on testnet 10, is that right, at the moment?
Yeah, 10.
And is there a lot of volume that goes through there still?
It depends on us. Like we currently at 3 millions or something, like 2.5 million blocks. It's a modest amount. Like it's obviously can do more. It's just the question of putting more load on it and see how it behaves. As I mentioned, our RPCs, they part of the node. So it's also depends on the specific node operator and its hardware. We don't want to just load test some random machines. We want to pick actually nodes which can show, which can actually handle this, like big volume of transactions. So yeah, load tests is yet to come. Currently, we just giving nodes to people and just make sure that the whole thing works. That state is consistent. Regardless from which node you send your transaction, then all nodes have the same state. That's our ultimate goal. Everything else is just optimization.
And talking about optimization, so was it I can't remember, was it Mike, Zach, and is it Roman that made the kip? And I can't remember which kip it was, but that actually really help layer twos in some sort of way.
Yeah,
Could you?
Roman
Sorry.
and Mike. Yeah, Roman and Mike, they made the KIP 15 about Atans, essentially. Like the whole idea of Atan came from this fine gentleman.
And so without that sort of kip as well, it would have been extremely hard, or would it would have been extremely costly for hardware requirements without Atans. Is that right?
Yeah, yes. The short answer is that it will be really hard on storage. The sync time for the new node, the time after which takes new node to, after connecting to the network, to re-execute all the transactions from Genesis, will be really long. So the whole user experience for the node operator will be suboptimal. Yeah, so Atan helped with that. We hope that moving forward also Atan can work as a foundation for maybe future Kaspa Layer 1 archival nodes. But yeah, don't quote me on that. Mike definitely will tell you better story about this.
So I know you probably can't talk more on it, but in that sense, with Atans running layer 1 archival nodes, would that mean that it would be accessible to more people to run an archival node if it was implemented?
If you can, let me think about this. Like, the Atan actually, yes, makes a requirement for the node more affordable. Again, less storage, less time to synchronize, this kind of things. It's more versatile because we don't save like the whole data. You just save the hash essentially of transaction. But then this can serve as a foundation for the layer 1 archival node. in a form I can't explain. That's this design not there yet, but in this current form, we hope it helps to any layer 2 who follows more or less our designs, just to optimize storage and node requirements. Yes.
So good, man. So with did you say like Caravel's pretty much you're happy with it? It's sort of coming to an end now, and then you're going to be launching a new. Was it a DevNet you're looking to launch soon?
No, I was referring actually. DevNet is going down. We're sunsetting it. The DevNet, the version which was live from end of March. Now we're sunsetting it because it was just running on our internal nodes, and it was previous version of the software. So this version is going to be sunset. In terms of timelines, now when we have already several nodes, it's already kind of like we consider it the launch of the testnet. But then we're going to give nodes to more people, essentially to whoever asks for it. Again, it's just we want to make sure, we want to be mindful about our team's time, because it also takes effort to support all node operators, essentially to explain them like the ropes and also hear the feedback, and this just takes our bandwidth. But then when we stabilize these clients, this node software, then we're going to give it to just whoever who asks for it. Essentially, we're going to publish this. You can download the node and then run it on your computer, whatever you like. And then we spend some considerable time actually watching it under the real load with the real usage, get feedback from builders, get feedback from node operators, actually make it better by running it into the wild. That's the idea. That's why we need testnet. Essentially, it's our staging environment. We need to spend some time watching the software in the wild, studying it, improving it, fixing the bugs until we can more or less confidently say, okay, this baby is ready for the prime time. Exactly like with Crescendo. I think communities, like all of our audience, I think they witnessed how Crescendo was born, first on testnet, then on mainnet. We follow the same path here.
Absolutely love that, Pavel. I'm conscious of your time because I know you're going to probably have to get moving soon. So, Levendi, is there any questions at all?
There's one that just pinned up on the Jumbotron, but we also had N. Baka join the stage. I don't know if you have any questions for Pavel. Mr. N. Baka, Ivaka. I guess not. Okay, so we move on to the question on the Jumbotron. Somebody's asking when IGRA testnet, please, release.
Well, you can consider it tomorrow if we manage. We need to convince one of the node operators actually to serve also as an RPC provider. You see, that's the beauty of it. We essentially just delegate responsibility, right? Instead of providing ourselves RPC service, polish it and stuff, we just make this eeny, meeny, miny, mo, and choose one of the node operators as RPC providers and tell, okay, now from this now, just deploy through this guy. No, seriously, that's the idea. You run the node, you run your transactions. We're going to have our own RPC as well, our kind of like the IGRA RPC, official IGRA RPC, but it's just, that we want people to actively use their own node. Your node, your trust profile, your keys, your custody, this kind of thinking is very important for us. It's a decentralized system. But yeah, the short answer is no.
Awesome. Thank you for that, Pavel. No other questions have come through. I'm just checking the group chat. No questions for there as well. So thank you for coming and joining us and stage and updating us with everything.
Chris, Levendi, thank you so much for having me. And sorry for, I cannot stay longer, but that's as usual, one of the best spaces, and I'm really enjoying it. Thank you.
Appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. It actually blows my mind that I'm a bricklayer and I'm up here interviewing these incredibly smart minds. It blows my brain. I'm actually quite proud of myself that I know some of this stuff as well.
You guys should be. You're doing the great job. You're doing the great job for community. That's it, 100%.
Well, if we can do it, anyone can do it. Because which is what I want to see more of. I want to see more spaces. I know there's a lot of people that are holding spaces now, which is fantastic. I think we need more of that, more of the good stuff. But a massive thanks to you, Pavel. Massive thanks to you guys. I'm really, really excited for Eagle Labs. I think you guys are doing a fantastic job. Is there anything else you wanted to say before we, or before you've got to jump down?
I want to shout out to Chad Rabarbarian. Like, it's really, I think he is one of the pillars of this community. And I think if you guys think that that's exactly the kind of media needs to be supported, and this kind of voices, which we really love in this space. So yeah, Chad, big love. And come to Berlin on 13th of September. 13th of September, Kaspa Experience event is going to be huge. At least beer will be in order. And I would love to meet you all there. So yeah, that's really looking forward to it. Huge thanks to Kaspa Alliance for Transparency for organizing all this. Really professional work so far.
I totally agree with that. They've done an absolutely awesome job creating this event. It's incredible to see. I mean, we might even get a surprise guest appearance from Bitcoin the Turtle. So definitely get your tickets booked in.
Okay, guys, thank you so much. Thanks for everyone for listening. And as usual, our DMs, my DMs are open. Anything you want to tell us, get in touch. We're there for you. Thank you. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Pavel. Really appreciate your time.
Thanks, guys.
Levendi, who have we got up next?
Up next, we have Cryptolytics over from KFC. I know it's very early for him in the morning. It was 6 a.m. when we started off the show. Good evening, bro. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Good morning, good evening, and good afternoon, I guess, for everyone here. It's great to be here again. Yeah, thanks for having me. I do appreciate you guys and everything you're doing for the Kaspa community here. So big ups for that. Yeah, so I guess I'll just dive straight into it. We have a few things in the pipeline for Kaspa Finance that I'm super excited to discuss today. I guess first thing I should probably just plug our own spaces that we held last week and another this week. We just detailed some of the recent progress for Kaspa Finance there, but we have some real alpha for you on the call today on what we have coming soon. So yeah, I'll just dive into it. I guess the first major thing is we're introducing an Aave v3 style lending and borrowing protocol. So at its core, this means that users will be able to supply assets as collateral, borrow against them, earn yield, all within isolated and risk managed pools. So Aave v3 is designed mostly with safety in mind, right? So it's especially helpful in a nascent ecosystem like Casplex or IGRA, I guess, as well, using features like the isolation mode, where volatile assets are kept within capped environments. In, say, efficiency mode, which boosts things like the borrowing power for correlated assets, such as stablecoins. So yeah, these tools help build the lending markets that they're just more flexible and protected against systemic risk, especially super early on in the DeFi stage. Yeah, so V3, the thing that I guess for me, I suppose is quite important is the Oracle. They're protecting the Oracle. So, V3 introduces the price Oracle Sentinel. Yeah, so that acts as a safeguard. If prices are looking like manipulated or unreliable, It can pause the liquidations and borrowing until things stabilize. So yeah, that prevents a lot of the problems you see in some other protocols where bad debt builds up. Like for example, we had last year on Sui, the scallop blend, was drained via a flash loan attack, which was via a price oracle exploit. So yeah, these are flaws that are mitigated in RBV3, with these multiple price, also, using multiple source price feeds and the isolation mode and stuff like that. So yeah, I mean, the TLDR, I guess, is on that is, we leverage the RBV3 architecture in order to be able to create the isolated pools, efficiency mode, and yeah, like the Oracle self-guard, Sentinel protection, and all their advanced liquidation tools and stuff like that. So yeah, at launch, we'll just be supporting the blue chip assets. So yeah, with the standard price oracle is sufficient. But as the ecosystem grows, we'll explore integrating additional price oracles that support the KRC20 token market, particularly for like isolated pools and those that are dedicated to their ecosystem coins. So yeah, in the initial iteration, lending and borrowing will launch just with single tokens as collateral, because I mean, that's a safe way to bootstrap a new ecosystem like Kasplex. But yeah, we're already exploring how to extend this to our LP tokens. So yeah, I mean, these LPs are actually NFTs that represent a liquidity position in a chosen price range. So to use them as collateral, like we'd need to build a token, like an A token wrapper or a module to value those positions. But yeah, users would still be able to earn the trading fees from the LP position. So it's like additional yield from the lending, because it's locked as collateral. But if they stake instead, then they'll earn the single, dual, or triple emissions we'll have in the pools. So yeah, I guess the key point is that later we want users to be able to choose whether they stake their LPs for emissions or lock them as collateral to strengthen their borrowing power. But yeah, of course, for collateral use, we'd likely guide the user towards full range or a wider range position, because that's how the V3 works, is you select your price range. So the LPs don't go inactive and lose value as collateral. So yeah. Yeah, we're also extending or providing extensive educational content. So yeah, for risk management, and this will be me most likely. And yeah, I'll be creating some tutorials on some more advanced DeFi strategies too for maximizing yield opportunities. For example, like say you could supply CAS to a lending market, borrow USDT or any other stable coin, depending on the borrow rate, and then deploy that stable coin into a stable pool to earn more yield than the borrow rate. Obviously, you'll have to make sure that the borrow rate is less than what you earn from yield. But this is the sort of thing that I do in DeFi personally. There'll be opportunities across various DeFi protocols in the ecosystem as well, right? So like borrow USDC in Kaspa Finance for a 5% APY and deposit into Kaspa.com, for example, since their yield in this example was 10%, effectively you're netting 5% APY. And even winding up using recursive lending and borrowing loops, but obviously using best practices and risk management, like not borrowing more than 40 to 50% of the total equity as an example. So yeah, I mean, I'll go through all that sort of stuff as well. But the next big thing we have in the pipeline is a bonding curve based fair launchpad called gemlaunch.fun. But yeah, I'm here as an advisory role or in an advisory capacity for Gemlaunch today, because it's a strategic partnership that we have with Kaspa Finance. So yeah, I mean, the team behind Gemlaunch already has a working product on another chain. But yeah, the real innovation here is bringing it to Kaspa via Kasplex, and approaching it through what I like to call innovation through complexity abstraction. So in other words, yeah, so taking something that can be a little difficult, like token creation and raising liquidity, but making the process more simple, accessible, and I guess almost invisible to the user. Like, when you're making a phone call, you're not selecting the tower that you're connecting to, for example. So, I mean, that's what you were talking about before, is abstracting a lot of the complexity. So, all of the pipes and everything that's happening under the hood is just streamlined, and the user doesn't need to worry about all that front-facing stuff that's just, noise to a lot of people. So yeah, I mean, we've also built a token creator ourselves that anyone can use in Kaspa Finance, and that will go live shortly. But that'll be great for new projects in the ecosystem, right? Creating a token though is just a start, right? Especially for culture-based coins like meme coins, like your slow and all that from that 7-hour long crazy Jonathan podcast. That was great to listen to. It's funny how everyone just obsessed over the turtle called Bitcoin. But yeah, the real challenge here, I guess, is finding enough community interest to fund liquidity. So that's where a fair launch platform like gemlaunch.fun has an edge. Like they give creators the bonding curve based path for price discovery, and they can build momentum on it throughout the process before moving into fully tradable within liquidity pools. So yeah, and due to the partnership, graduated tokens will seamlessly push to Kaspa Finance for liquidity and trading, and users can continue to access trading directly through the widget integration. So it just keeps the flow smooth from launch to trading without fragmenting the experience. So yeah, I guess on features for Gem Launch, it's I guess the unique thing, I suppose, is combining the bonding curve launches with something with some of the more like professional grade tools as an option. So they can just go the easy route where they can, it's just got a set 1 billion supply, all that sort of stuff, or they can choose to add things like token allocations. So we'll have like some vesting tools, airdrop, some treasury management, stuff like that, but keeping everything sleek and streamlined, right? So I guess importantly, a portion of the revenue will be dedicated back to the ecosystem and to the creator. So that could mean DAO-driven funding for things like Kaz.fyi, Crumpet Media, or even tipping creators via Kaspa Doors Buy Me a Coffee. And yeah, supporting validators and the ecosystem as a whole, because I mean, these are the picks and shovels in the Kaspa ecosystem. So every launch grows not just the platform, but the Kaspa ecosystem itself. And yeah, Chris, before, as you mentioned, like in terms of what trading contributes to the ecosystem, I mean, meme coin activity generates transaction fees, which helps miners remain profitable as block rewards decrease, right? So obviously with the 10 BPS, 32 BPS, 100 BPS, obviously you'll find more blocks, but the reward is less. But the fee market is where things can really bolster up. And yeah, fast-paced DeFi trading supports sustainable fee markets that naturally adopt alongside Kaspa's mining difficulty adjustments, if that makes sense. So yeah, there are also plans to gamify both the DAO and the broader user experience. So like in terms of the DAOs and the decentralized autonomous organization, so, you can cast your votes and direct the protocol and all that sort of stuff, I guess the inspiration we're taking a little bit from Jupiter and Solana, where they've kind of gamified the DAO experience and rewarding people who participate there. Yeah, so along with the focus on governance and all that sort of stuff, and making it maybe a little bit more rewarding and interactive, a bit more fun. But at the same time, also a gamified leaderboard, which Gem Launch, the other Gem Launch platform already has, which is going live shortly, but this will be coming in at launch. Yeah, so there'll be accolades, points for using the platform. It kind of adds a reputation layer of sorts to the platform as well. So if people want to, connect it to their Twitter account or whatever, they can be like, well, this guy's, just launching pure alpha, great meme coins or whatever, then, obviously there's also you don't have to do that as well. It's not like obligatory. But yeah, the landing page is up and running now. So yeah, you can check that out at gemlaunch.fun. I can actually just post in the comments here on the spaces as well, the new X account, which we only just started. Well, they only just launched it, I think, last night. So yeah, that's all up and running, and yeah, I think I've waffled on enough. But yeah, I'd love to introduce Jono as well. I think hopefully he's requested as a speaker. He was here just a second ago, but I don't see him anymore. But yeah, anyway, maybe his his Web2 RL got in the way of him being able to talk. So maybe we ran out of time there. But yeah, I guess if there's any questions for me, yeah, shoot. But yeah, there's some other things as well. Like, we'll have Jacob from he's a community manager. He'll be attending the Kaspa experience. And yeah, he's across everything, and he's an invaluable part of the team. So yeah, in terms of Kaspa Finance, this is. So yeah, he'll be representing us in Berlin in September. So that'll be exciting. so yeah, that's pretty much everything from me, I think.
I mean, there's a lot to get through. That's fantastic. I think, yeah, again, I really like this because certainly with lending protocols and things like that, I'd like the fact that there's quite a few being built out because, again, it does spread the risk if there's any glitches or bugs or whatever in one. At least you've got others, and I've always said this. I really don't like monopolies. I think it's healthy to have widespread competition, and that's what it's about. Being decentralized is about having different products that are coming out on the market, and the consumer can choose which one they want to use, which is fantastic. So I'm really pleased to hear about these two new products that Kaspa Finance are offering or partnering with, which is fantastic. With regards to the lending protocol and the launch pad, are they on testnet now? Can people test them out on Kasplex's layer 2 now?
Yeah, so the I don't have the exact ETA on at least the so the RPv3 will come first. So the lending protocol will come first. I think that'll be in the coming weeks, I would say. But yeah, that will be on testnet very soon, and yeah, we will be plastering it everywhere we can, essentially, when it's available for usage. But yeah, it's all in the works at the moment, and we're sort of just doing some back end testing at the moment. But you know, we've got the UI all sorted and everything like that. So yeah, we just want to make sure it's as clean and as streamlined as possible before we release it into the wild. But yeah, obviously then we'll be grabbing as much community feedback as possible for the user's experience, and you know, if they find any bugs or anything like that, you know, that's the whole point of a testnet, right? So yeah, break it, get in there, do what you got to do, and yeah, that'll be up and running very soon. In terms of the launch pad, that one is still in ideation, so where the team is still sort of developing it, but we've basically got everything down in terms of the features and exactly the sort of the workflow and the structure and everything like that. And again, yeah, if you wanted to, I guess, follow them, and they'll be basically, we'll be cross promoting obviously with them as well, because we are in tight partnership with them. So yeah, so that will be coming soon, I guess, is the TLDR on that.
Awesome, man. Thanks for letting me know. The TLDR, it's Gem launch.fun, right?
Yeah,
I've just opened it.
Yeah, we just jumping
awesome,
on the
awesome. I've just opened it. Just looking through why you're explaining that, given that TLDR. Firstly, the page is pretty slick. I like it. First thing that comes into my face, though, the moment I landed on it, was a join Gem pre-sale. Can you explain a little bit more about
that? Yes. So we're going through sort of they will be going through a pre-sale of sorts. So yeah, so I mean, if you check out the landing page, as you said, like, and scroll down, and yeah, there is a pre-sale planned. So it's structured as like a fair launch style token distribution, kind of aligned with the Kaspa ethos. Not really like, you know, any insiders or anything like that. It'll be a third party that is hosting it. Yeah, so obviously we know about the whole Properify debacle and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, but yeah, these guys have shipped code and have a working product. So, you know, we know that they are able to create platforms, and the other Gem launch is fully functional, and yeah, it's pretty good, but it's just like a full featured suite launch pad. So it might be a little bit overwhelming to a lot of people. So that's why they're kind of thinking, hey, let's go to Kaspa and start something new that's a lot more streamlined. But yeah, in terms of the pre-sale, again, the portal for that will go live shortly, and you know, we'll release more information on it as soon as that's available. But yeah, so there will be a sort of a pre-sale style launch for the token.
Cool.
Hopefully
also that was just the first thing that slapped me in the face when I joined on there. As I was scrolling, I thought, hang on, this is a big yellow button, that must be important. So I scrolled back up, and I just got slapped in the face with that. So yeah. I just wanted to follow up. Have you guys got any affiliation built with the same team from KFC, or is it a completely different team? What's the relationship there?
Yeah, so I mean, if you look at the pitch deck, you'll see that James and I are advisors for the team. So I mean, we're working very, very closely with the core team. So yeah, Jono is the founder with Vivi, and yeah, like they're pretty far down the crypto rabbit hole. Been around for a very long time. Vivi's always jumping around from the various events, crypto events and stuff like that. So she's all out there and. Yeah, so but yeah, just we're working super close essentially. Like I guess you could say like almost hand in hand, like regular chats, all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean that obviously it's required in order for it to work seamlessly with our decks, and for the graduations to go across, and for the trading to continue within the platform and everything like that. So yeah, I mean we're working very closely with the core team there.
Awesome, man. Thank you for diving into that part as well. I know a community are going to be
Pleasure.
asking this as well once they dive deeper. Is anything available, like open source, like coding wise? Can people dive into that? Those that are technologically gifted, unlike me, that don't understand what a simple node is. But yeah, is there anywhere that people can dive into that sort of thing?
I guess I'd probably have to ask that question with regards to the open source, nature of the code. But yeah, so I can't really answer that at this stage. But I mean, that'd be pretty cool. Obviously, I love open source. I was a Linux user for quite some years, so obviously using Android, I love the idea of open source and everything like that. So yeah, of course, it's a big part of the crypto ethos is open sourcing code and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, I mean, we'll have to see, right? I'll have to ask the team, and hopefully next time we have an update for you, we'll be able to let you know.
Thanks, man. Sorry, I was just getting hit up in the back end and fumbling with my mute button. Bloody hell. Thanks for answering those questions, man. I appreciate the time.
Pleasure, bro. Thank you.
Awesome. I just wanted to go back to the lending platform that you mentioned. Sorry, I've got a tickly throat. I was actually like, it was the first time I heard about the SUI exploit with the oracles. And to be honest with you, I'm not really hot up on Oracle. I know that obviously if oracles get exploited, it's not a great thing, but I've never actually heard about big exploits via oracles before. But it's obviously a real thing in terms of, especially with DeFi projects and things like that. I can obviously see the bugs and the, if something's a bit of a foul play, it can not be great for users. So does that happen quite a lot in lending platforms or in DeFi in general?
I think most of the flash loan attacks that have occurred throughout the years have been to do with Oracle exploitation and manipulation. So that's why, I mean, Aave's at V3, or they're at V4 now, but we're using the V3. But yeah, in the earliest iterations of lending and borrowing protocols, the Oracle manipulation was the primary, I guess you could say, method that bad actors would use in order to exploit the protocols. So that's why things like the price Oracle Sentinel are important. So, it could use a TWAP of price, or it could, it basically it monitors the price action on various whatever supplied assets. And if it detects any strange irregularities, then essentially it'll pause liquidations, it'll pause borrowing and all that sort of stuff until everything stabilizes, and then re-engage and re-enable the protocol so that way it's back up and running. So this is something that Aave has already addressed, and that's why it's good that we can sort of work within that framework, because yeah, I mean, when you're talking about other ecosystems, that they can't really fork things like Aave because they don't have EVM, so they can't really use the same code base. They've got to essentially start everything from scratch, from the ground up. So yeah, pricing oracles, they're very, very important for lending and borrowing. And yeah, like you've got other oracles coming along. Obviously, you got your Chainlink, which is fine for your blue chips, wrapped Bitcoin, wrapped ETH, CAS, stable coins, all that sort of stuff. That's all available on Chainlink. But yeah, some of your more ecosystem orientated coins is somewhere where, like, Quex, for example, with their Cyberfrog, or there's other oracles out there we could use further on down the track when we start to create the isolated pools. That will be used for, or that could be used for working that out. And obviously, we'll have our own pricing oracles and stuff like that as well. And there all the dexes and stuff like that can be used as redundancy in terms of pricing and all that sort of thing as well. So yeah, it's just about pooling all of the information and making sure that you've got that sort of source of truth for what the price is, so that you can prevent things like flash loan attacks. Because again, like I think with Sui, there's only a couple of dexes, so even if they did use just their own, or just the two, there's still potential for manipulation. Whereas I guess it's the good thing about having Zealous and Kaspa.com and whoever else decides to come along in the future, is that we can utilize their pricing feeds as well to stabilize our lending and borrowing protocol.
It's actually it's quite interesting to me, because again, I understand the concept behind oracles being manipulated to that degree, but I never realised it could happen like that, if you know what I mean. So, like with that sort of attack, so can you just talk me through how an oracle attack like that could happen? So, like, what would whoever's given that live feed manipulate the data that they've got on a certain particular coin or token, and then they get the flash loan to manipulate the price as well? Is that how it works to then get a cascade of liquidations? Or I'm trying to understand the attack, that's all.
Yeah, it's pretty much how it works. It's kind of similar to what happened back in 2022 with Mango Markets, with Avi Eisenberg. Essentially, what he did is he, with, I don't know if it was collaboration with FTX, but anyway, we won't get into the into the conspiracies and stuff like that. But essentially, he manipulated the price of the MNGO token, the Mango token, which was their governance coin, because it was very low liquidity. Essentially, he was able to take out a massive, like, multi-year $1 million, potentially more, I can't remember the exact figures, but long on I think it was a long or a short on the Mango token, which massively swayed the price. And then he was able to, I think he took out a long or something like that as well on Mango, and was able to settle the profit. And then from that settled profit, essentially drain the entire treasury and protocol of all of its assets. So, I mean, that's an example with a perp dex, but it essentially would be the same thing. Like, you're telling the pricing oracle that this asset's now worth, $20 billion or whatever the total value of the, TVL of the protocol. And then from that, you can essentially take out a over collateralized borrow. You just max it out. It might only be 40% LTV or whatever, like loan to value ratio, which is like the dollar value of whatever that asset is. But that might be enough to drain a significant amount of capital from the protocol. Because then, and then once obviously the oracle stabilizes, then you've got all this bad debt within the protocol, and essentially within some circumstances it becomes insolvent. So yeah, these are sort of that's why it's really important to get the pricing oracle feeds and stuff like that all stabilized. And that's why V3 is amazing, and that's why that pricing oracle sentinel will hopefully stop anything like that from happening. And that sort of stuff is a lot of the time that can only really occur with low caps. So things where a smaller amount of capital can manipulate the price. Because something like ETH or Bitcoin, I mean, good luck manipulating the price of Bitcoin or ETH with the oracle attack. Yeah, you're talking about $1.5 trillion asset plus. Yeah, very, very difficult to do.
And is that because, like, with obviously the higher market cap coins or tokens, it's because there's so many markets available that you're getting feeds from so basically, essentially, you've got so many oracles
with live data feeds that you're not going to be able to move the markets. But with obviously lower cap market tokens, it's a lot easier to, because again, there's not. Well, I'd assume there's not enough oracles or data feed to protect them, essentially.
Yeah, so I mean, essentially, you could just go on a DEX with some crazy amount of money, essentially, and just very, very easily manipulate the price of. I mean, that's like what the whole idea of a rug pull is, right? So you can just very easily tank the price of a coin just by selling a large portion of it, or a large amount of money. So yeah, it's just things like your Bitcoin, Ethereum, all that sort of stuff. It's just they're bigger assets, so they require more capital to move the price. And then the oracles obviously will read that. Hopefully that makes sense.
Yeah, no, that makes perfect sense. Again, it's something like it's something about crypto that obviously I've touched on before, but I've never really understood how devastating an attack can be via oracles being that out of whack, if you know what I mean. I never really understood the incentives behind it, but then it does make sense. If you can drain liquidity that much, it obviously makes sense to it gives an incentive to give bad oracle feeds.
Yeah, so I mean, to the bad actors, it obviously there's incentives, but for people like yourself and me, like obviously, like we're just trying to protect from that sort of stuff from happening, essentially. But yeah, it's just something to basically keep in mind. But obviously, as I said before, like that's all abstracted from the user, so it's not something that the user will ever have to think about. Like, is this pricing oracle working or whatever? It's like, yeah, it just works under the hood.
And that's because obviously the V3 model, like you said, will freeze any like weird looking activity.
Correct. Yeah. And obviously for more exotic coins that we have, they'll be isolated, so they don't create bad debt in the protocol, so they don't affect the whole treasury and the entire like protocol's capital.
Yeah, that makes sense. That's perfect as well. I could only imagine, because I can see Elliot's listening in the audience. He's probably got his hands or his head in his hands listening to me talk about oracles. But bro, I'm trying to learn. So and I will pick your brains at the Kaspa event or the Kaspa experience. So yeah, I'm looking. Actually, I think Elliot's going to be a speaker at the event as well. So I'm really looking forward to hearing his take on oracles, and because it is an important thing. It really is an important thing within not just crypto in general, but DeFi. Like it's a massive thing, along with MEV resistance
100%.
as well, because there's so much manipulation that goes on there. And yeah, you're like, some people are just getting hit with fees that they should not be getting hit with, or sandwich attacks and all sorts of crazy shit that goes on, more so than actually TradFi, which is like it's something that seriously needs to be addressed in the crypto space to help crypto progress and be adopted in more mainstream financial spaces. So yeah, it's something that I'm half interested in, because I don't know it fully. And I'd like to learn.
Sure. I mean, we're all learning here, right?
Say again.
We're all learning here at the same time, right?
Oh yeah, definitely. I pretty much learn something new every week on Blockchain Banter, which is why I love doing them, because again, there's no stupid questions, and if there are, it's me asking them, so it doesn't matter anyway. And then hopefully everyone can learn.
Well, but the thing is, some of these questions might be the same as what other people have, right? So, everyone's at a different stage in their journey in crypto. So, some people might have a little bit more knowledge than others and whatnot, but, everyone's at that different stage within the learning and figuring out what DeFi even is, like what even is decentralized finance, and, how can I even use it, and why would I even use it in the first place? So, that's the thing. Like everyone's at a different stage in their journey, and that's why there is no stupid questions. There's just you're fielding questions for those who don't really want to put their hand up and ask themselves.
Exactly that, and that's also why I'm glad you mentioned you're going to be doing sort of tutorials or just like teaching people how to use like lending and borrowing protocols safely as well, because again, there's going to be people, no doubt, that will jump in thinking this is a great idea. I'm going to like seriously lever up on on my whatever, like CAS, for example, and then realise that the swings can really knock you out, and you've just lost a lot of CAS. So it's really good that you're obviously focusing on teaching people about how to use protocols properly.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, education is basically at its core of Kaspa Finance. That we as soon as we launched, we started releasing those tutorial videos just on the basic stuff. But obviously, I'll want to go into some more advanced stuff in the future, because I've been, neck deep in DeFi since 2021, essentially learning it all. During lockdowns and whatnot. So yeah, just basically figuring out what DeFi was, again, like all the basics and all that sort of stuff. And that's when I guess like I would have been asking the exact same questions that you're asking today, or maybe I would have even been like, I don't even know what half of this stuff even is. So, because as I said, like everyone's at a different stage of their journey. So yeah, I mean, for me, obviously, because I've had four or so years plus of experience in DeFi, that I just would like to share some of those experiences, I suppose, and just don't do what things that I did early on where I over leveraged and all this sort of stuff, and just basically teach some of the best practices and all that sort of thing, and just some of the opportunities. And obviously we've mentioned already before that we will have our AI suite as well, and the AI suite will be able to hop around between pools and or recommend users to like, you could earn more yield on your stable coins if you swap it from USDT to USDC and redeposit it. So all that sort of stuff that we'll be able to build into our AI suite as well. So yeah, I mean, that's all kind of part of it. The AI integration with the bots that we're creating.
So cool, man. One more question for me, and then we'll go to Levendi to see if there's any questions from the audience. But so my question is, obviously, with these two new protocols that you're working alongside or partnered with, Casplex is literally just around the corner now for launching their L2. I'm assuming that you wouldn't launch the launch pad and the lending protocol at launch of Casplex, or would you? I don't know.
That I would have to talk to Mercer about. And in terms of the launch pad, that will come after. But in terms of the lending and borrowing protocol, I'm not sure for how long it is exactly, because every day we're getting new updates and stuff like that. So from Mercer and the team. So I would have to ask him. But yeah, I could probably bring it up in our spaces on Thursday. So if you guys want to find out more, I guess you could join that, or at least listen to the recording after. But yeah, in terms of if it will be ready for when Casplex goes live on, is it the 31st? Then yeah, I mean, that's something that I'll have to ask about, because I don't know exactly.
No, that's fine. Cheers for that. I'm so looking forward to Casplex and launching their L2. I think it's going to be absolutely incredible for the ecosystem. I'm really looking forward to seeing the transaction volume just fly with all the excitement and hype behind the L2 as well. It's going to be awesome, man. I bet I could only imagine you guys are looking forward to it as well.
Oh, 100%. And big shout outs to the whole team. I can see Caspadors on the stage. We're super keen. Obviously for me, I'm a DeFi maxi. So seeing DeFi primitives come to something that solves the trilemma, like something that is as decentralized, is as scalable, and is as secure as Kaspa, to me, without coining the term, the cheesy term, I think it's an actual game changer. I think it's going to bring massive benefits to DeFi as a whole. And yeah, once people sort of learn the centralization of Solana and, you know, BNB chain and whatever else is out there, and, you know, learn that, hey, like there's a better choice out there, then I think that's when as soon as that narrative comes back, right? Because I think a lot of the degens sort of don't care as much, but you know, all it takes is some narrative within the Web 2 space to sort of permeate throughout Web 3, and then they're like, well, let's go decentralized because, you know, like say, remember with like the banks getting shut down or this and that thing, like maybe there'll be some narrative that pops up where people are like, well, let's go even more decentralized than even Solana, and then that's when sort of Kaspa and the various L2s and stuff pop up, and they're like, all right, well, this is the way to go, I think.
I do think that as well. I mean, like, I think Pavel said it right as well. Like programmability on a proof of work is just going to be huge for a lot of people, or at least the people that really do value that. And I think that will just help just on board the masses. Like the masses will follow it because it's a huge feat. Like we are literally living in history right now. We're seeing it being made before our eyes, which is awesome. Like
Totally agree.
it is a really good feeling. Like genuinely, I think it's going to be. I hope that it's something that we speak about when we're old and grey to our kids and grandkids about we were here at like the start of something huge, which
writing the history book, so to speak.
Yeah, exactly, man. I think it's an awesome time to be alive, or at least an awesome space to be involved in. And yeah, Christ knows how I ended up here, but I'm so glad I did, man. It's so good.
Yeah, it just feels like being, you know, just when the internet started, right? It just kind of feels like being part of that, you know, this brand new financial ecosystem that's completely decentralized. Don't have to worry about banks shutting you down or being debanked or any of this sort of stuff. Essentially, this is like the turn of a great sort of financial revolution, if you ask me.
Really, yeah, totally agree with you, man. It really is. So yeah, I really can't wait for Kaspex to launch on the 31st, I think it is. So it's going to be awesome. And again, so many protocols already just ready and waiting to launch. It's going to be awesome. So yeah, looking forward to seeing you guys launch as well when like or at least Kaspa Finance launch when Kaspex's layer 2 comes live.
Yeah, it's all hands on deck. That's for sure.
Yeah, I could imagine, man. We speak to so many different protocols that are building out and projects, but yeah, it's always the same. It's just head down, arse up, and they're really nailing the final bits, if you know what I mean. So it's awesome. I absolutely love it. Levendi,
yeah, that's it.
Is there any questions from the audience at all for Kaspa Finance?
Looking through now, I think there was something from Elliot that come through. He was responding to something about manipulating Bitcoin, and that all Binance has to do is change their API manually. Whatever that means, I'm not sure, but it sounds scary.
Yeah, that I mean, obviously, like if they really wanted to do like an exit scam or something like that, I guess they could. But yeah, they definitely could, because there are a lot of tools that reference Binance's price feeds, but not just their price feeds, but also like things like their open interest feeds, like pretty much like, you know, the top traders, all that sort of stuff. There's a lot of feeds out there they could probably manipulate if they really wanted to do some grand exit scam. So yes, that's a very good point. Kind of scary too, that so much of the crypto ecosystem is all pointing to one very large centralized entity. There's no doubt about that. But that's where, like, you know, your chain links and your Pyth and what are the other pricing oracles, the decentralized ones. I guess that's, well, I guess they might, pricing oracles do reference Binance. So I guess that, yeah, I guess that's where maybe referencing dexes. Hopefully at some stage there'll be like some sort of more aggregate of price feeds across everything. And so if one thing looks like it's being manipulated, then it's sunsetted briefly or permanently if it's needed, if it's a bad actor. So yeah.
I mean, that's what our boy Elliot's working on anyway. He's coming up with all these solutions on Kaspa. So, again, come to the Kaspa experience. If you're not coming, Elliot's going to be speaking there. We've got some awesome speakers. Kaspa Finance is going to be there. Loads of people are going to be there. Come to it because it's going to be awesome, genuinely. And I'm certainly going to be picking Elliot's brains as well. He's probably going to need about 1 million drinks after speaking to me. But
Man.
I don't mind paying for a minute.
I just got a quick DM in the back, and I really want to quickly say hi to Kaspa, though, bro. You've been chilling up here for a while. I know you got a drop, so I just really wanted to pass the mic on over to you. Say good evening and say hello. Sorry, Cryptolytics will just come out to you in just Cryptolytics. Yeah, I don't know if I butchered that. We'll come out back to you in just a second. But yeah, I really want to hear from Kaspa, though.
Hey, Levendi. Hey, everyone. Thanks, Levendi, for this. Yeah, it's quite late, almost 1 a.m. I need to fix my schedule. So, hi, everyone. Really nice space, as always. Learned a lot from Igra, as well from Cryptolytics, right? And looking forward to see what the future unfolds, because there are so many projects and pieces moving together. It's going to be an interesting September, to be honest. And Chris, don't make Elliot to do any push-ups, man, at the Berlin event. I know you have the skill of doing bets.
He'll probably do more than me. You've seen the muscles on the guy.
Well, with that picture that you have now, I'm afraid of doing even one push-up.
It's just a picture, man. Trust me, the reality's not great.
Bro, he's just come back from holiday, man. He's been eating well for the last 2 weeks. What do you mean?
I don't want to sound rude, but have been in Spain this summer, and the food was horrible for me, at least. I couldn't find anything properly to eat besides the classic paella, which I don't like. So anyway, if you want good food, you should come to Romania. You will see.
I won't argue with that. I've had Romanian food before. It's delicious.
Ashton was here. Maybe he can chime in a bit, but I'm sure he liked it. Anyway, coming back to the topic, and again, a great space as always. Is this episode 69 yet, or?
No, bro. We're a few away. We're 4 away from that number. Chris picked up on it earlier as well, actually. It seems like everyone's anticipating 69.
I don't recall, Levendi. Did I join the first or second one, or was I a bit later?
Oh, I'm not even sure. No, I think he was right there from the start, to be honest.
Yeah, I think you was on day one. You was with Blockchain Banter.
60 weeks already in 60 weeks, 1 year, right? 1 and 2 months almost.
Yeah, just over that. But in Levendi math, it's just a year.
I was
about to say the same thing, man.
Depends what calendar we're using, Levendi's or everyone else's.
A bit of updates on Casplex, even if this was uncalled for. So we released today the audit on the layer 2. The layer 2 audit is just one of the, let's say, audits that will be shared. It's read like, I don't recall exactly, maybe 6-7 files or something like this. What I can say, and again, of course, nothing is bulletproof, right? Or foolproof. Doesn't mean that if something is audited, it's 100% safe. Whilst I truly believe it is, but as I have this saying, nothing is certain in life besides death, right? So we released the first audit for the layer 2. As mentioned in the Twitter post, there were like 2 critical bugs which were solved. In the background, the nodes are being fine-tuned to be released. They can be hosted using just a Docker image, and you can run the nodes. We had some infrastructure projects reaching out, asking if they can provide the node services to the community. Of course, everyone is free to do as they wish. And in terms of the open source of of the code, there are some very legit reasons behind not releasing it prior to the mainnet. Some components might get open source prior to mainnet, whilst others will be slowly and gradually released throughout the, let's say, the production, as we switch to the production environment. Again, there are some very, very legit, let's say, reasons for not doing that earlier, and time will tell, and time will show why that was the case. So that's another one. Another one, this that has nothing to do with Casplex, is the bridge between the layer 1 and layer 2 and vice versa. I've tested that for the last few days. Runs smoothly. There are some fine tunings in terms of layout, labels, texts, so on and so forth, but that should be also released very, very soon. What else? So I said nodes, audit, bridge. Am I missing something, Levendi, Chris, Ashton?
I don't think so. I think you've covered everything I can think of, unless Ashton knows.
I think the only thing we're missing is the timestamp in UTC that mainnet goes live.
Why would that be helpful for you guys?
Oh, of course, it wouldn't be. I don't need to know. I'm not sitting on the edge of my seat losing sleep.
Don't we just look at Cas.live? We'll get the confetti.
Yeah, that's true.
You'll get the confetti, but that is just a timer for the date, right? It's not a timer for the actual hour. So
just tells you when midnight hit the day of.
Something like that, yeah, I believe. I need to ask Cursor how he did it. I have no idea how that has been calculated. Anyway, so long story short, these are the, again, unsolicited updates. See you in Berlin. I still need to book my flights. I'll be talking there as well about the newly released layer 2, some statistics, the apps, wallets, everything around it. I might put something together in let's say, in parallel, discussing about how to protect your assets. And I'm not talking necessarily about casclean.app, but I'm talking like a general rule of thumb, what to do and what not to do. Even I almost got fooled a few days back connecting to some random shitty web page, but that was on another network. Anyway, so see you all in Berlin, and it's going to be a good one for sure.
Man, I can't wait to get there, man. We've been talking about this for so long now. I cannot wait to get there and see everybody, man. That's what I've been looking forward to the most. You know, I said it to Chris today in a call before the space. I've just been looking forward to meeting everyone, man. That's just the most number one thing.
For me, it's very important and very, very, let's say, I do not know the proper word to say it, but I truly appreciate Ashton for doing this, because the way he put this together is not about a specific project or specific team. So you will have KFC there, you will have Zeros, you'll have Casplex, you'll have Igra, you'll have like all the known builders on top of Kaspa. So I really like this idea. It's, at least this the perception that I have is that this is truly done for the community. We'll see how that goes, and yeah, I'm looking forward to that. I cannot I will not be at the level of having a discussion with Elliot or other gurus that know their stuff. I'm more like, if you want to know, a speaker man rather than a technical guy, but I'm sure that we can find some common ground and debate around everything that floats on Kaspa. So yeah, I took a lot of time as always. So thank you, Levendi, Chris, Ashton, and everyone for listening to me again, and talk to you all soon.
Casper, can I chime in one real quick about the event in Casplex? I know you're still working on details, but just to anyone in the audience considering coming, or if you already have your ticket, definitely visit the Casplex booth while you're there, because I think Caspador and team are planning some fun interactions, activities for you to do, and some giveaways where you can win some stuff.
Exactly. Thank you, Ashton, for this. Yeah, correct.
Absolutely. One other thing I want to throw out there is Casper is 100% accurate that this is for the community, and it's definitely not only me. There's so many people who have helped. I mean, Craig, the visual eye, you can see him in the audience there. Chad, Rue Barbarian, Chris from our team. These guys up here on stage have helped. Wolfie's doing catering. So it's definitely a group effort. But we wanted to include as many projects as possible. And I don't think we've talked about this before, but we chose a Saturday to do the event, trying to make sure people could be out of work and things like that. And we made a small error in some of the projects that recognize that day of the week as their Sabbath or holy day. So we have a couple other projects we really wanted to include that wanted to be there but just couldn't. So you know, if you don't see your favorite decks or your favorite projects being represented at the Kaspa experience, they weren't excluded. It just wasn't perfect for everybody.
Yeah, I mean, mirroring what Caspador said, it's the whole event has been done really, really well, because it is tried to remain as unbiased as possible. Everyone's welcome who's building out in the ecosystem. So yeah, I do think that's a really good thing about this, because
Chris,
like, yeah,
I have a specific project that is not welcomed. I will DM you.
oh no, as long as it's not Crumpet Media, we're cool.
No.
But man, I'm really, I know it's late for you, Caspador, and I really appreciate you and your time coming here. You always say you speak too much, but I always think you never speak enough. I could listen to you speak pretty much all night. I think you are a very good speaker, and I'm looking forward to hearing you speak at the event. And I'm really, really looking forward to actually meeting you at the event, man. It's been a long time coming, so I really can't wait for that, man.
It feels like we know each other for quite some time now, and like we met before. But yeah, it's nice when I've met Ashton and Johnny and Monica in Romania. It was and Chris and others. It was a very, very nice feeling putting a face to a name, and then you can actually create that connection that bounds people, you know. But this is not for everyone. Some are preferring to stay in the shadows, and I get it. But others are like building connections, because this, at least for me, I got some lifetime friends, and this is very nice. Working in crypto, having real life friends and creating connections. Of course, it's not all rainbow, but yeah, 99% is good. So yeah, see you there, everyone.
Love it, man. Thanks so much, Caspador, and again, really can't wait to see you. It's going to be awesome.
Yeah, 100%, man. Looking forward to meeting you there, Caspador. Can't wait. Cryptolytics, I've been trying to give the mic on over to Jono. You're saying that he's the founder of Gem Launch.
Yeah, of GemLaunch.fun and GemLaunch as well, one of the co-founders. Yeah, I think that he has to start work now, so he missed the opportunity, but that's all right. It's fine. He'll join one of the future spaces, and he can introduce himself. And yeah,
awesome. Is he in your time zone? Oh dear.
Yes.
Oh
yes,
dear. We're waking everyone up on the other side of the world today.
Oh, well, it's better than where I used to be based. When I was living in Hong Kong, your spaces would be started at 4 a.m. So I think that's a bit 6 a.m. is a little bit more manageable.
Yeah,
I think
100% more manageable. 4 a.m. Man, I'd be a zombie at that time. Bloody hell. Awesome.
I'd just be staying up late, I think, in that case.
Yeah. Awesome. Well, nice to hear that Jono's the founder. We'll be able to hear from him at some stage. We're always here on a Monday, so anyone's welcome up on our stage. I did want to take it back to somebody. I'm scrolling down my notification tab. Golden Sparrow may have missed what was said earlier. So he's asked to clarify a couple of things. He's asking about forking Av v3 and the open source.
Yeah, so I mean, Aave is code is out there. The smart contracts, I mean, every smart contract is technically open source. But yeah, so the code's all out there, and essentially, because Casplex is ZKEVM, we're able to fork that and use that as our foundation, and then build upon it to basically work best for the Kaspa DeFi ecosystem.
Awesome, thank you for re-clarifying that. I guess that was not picked up earlier on, so I appreciate it. Thank you. Is there any questions from our panelists up here? Chris, you may have got any other questions for Cryptolytics?
No, I think I am all out of questions for Cryptolytics. I just again, I think it's going to be awesome to see what you're building out. It's always good to see good teams building out on Kaspa's ecosystem. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing you guys launch when Casplex is live. And yeah, is there anything else you wanted to add, Cryptolytics?
No, I'm just glad to be part of the journey, really. So, I mean, seeing Kaspa essentially evolve almost so rapidly. This year has just been crazy with Crescendo and now smart contracts. Like, this is a massive year for Kaspa. So I'm just super happy to be a part of the journey and be here through such a pivotal stage in its evolution.
Totally agree, man. What I really like about Kaspa is it is like seeing all the great things that have been born through crypto. So like Bitcoin, Solana, Ethereum, like they all have incredible traits, to be honest with you. And there's been loads of ways of trying to scale proof of work, and like even Litecoin, like I know we give them shit for fun, but in fairness to them, they tried to achieve something that was incredibly hard to do. And what I really love about Kaspa is it's just brought all the benefits of all these great minds that have come together and built out awesome protocols and networks. But it's taken all the best bits of them. Well, it seems to have anyway. And now here we are. And it's just awesome to be in a space that is evolving as it is. And Kaspa seems, from my perspective, because I'm extremely biased, have a look at my profile picture. It's growing really, really well. So yeah, I'm totally with you, man. I think it's great to be in this space and seeing what's being built out. And yeah, Kaspa is just next level. Absolutely love it, man.
Yeah, and I appreciate what you guys are doing, as I said before, with this and Crumpet Media and all your other projects and stuff like that. Your YouTube channel, which I just subscribed to recently, Chris. This is really, really good, and this is something that I think most blockchains need that just don't have. So yeah, the community here is amazing, and yeah, we're glad to be a part of it.
Well, I appreciate that, man. I mean, I can't code or do any of the clever shit, so at least I can use my big mouth to try and get eyeballs on Kaspa. And that's what everyone should be thinking. What can I do? And because everyone can do something, everyone's got a skill at something. If it's not coding, if it's not development, architecture, any of that sort of thing, there's something you can do. So if you believe in Kaspa, go ahead and do it. We're decentralized, baby.
Exactly. I mean, just look at all the vibe coders, anyone with Claude or, some of these other, was it Windsurf? There's a bunch of them. People with good ideas can basically ideate them to reality within a couple of days. So it's pretty crazy, the sort of stuff you can do now with AI.
Yeah, 100%, man. The vibe coding scene on Kaspa has been incredible to watch. So yeah, I can't wait. Ever evolving, and it's good to be a part of.
I think, Chris, sorry, I was joking with someone because we have Coder of Stuff here. I was like, I should change my name in Viber of Stuff.
I love that. Viber of Stuff. It's like Coder of Stuff's apprentice.
Little kid, yeah.
Oh, love it, man. Love it. But it's cool. Like you said, it is cool to see these vibe coders popping up everywhere and doing shit. I mean, Ashton, you've always said this. Just do stuff. Like literally, just do. It's like because you can, just do it. And yeah, I think that ethos is brilliant.
I think it comes for me. It comes back to like an old saying that I think's been around a very long time, or maybe it's not even a saying. It's just like a phrase or a topic. But it's about motivation. And so many people in the world like wait for motivation to hit. They sit on the couch and they're like, "Oh, I need to be motivated to go, clean my bathroom or pick up the dog shit in the backyard or whatever it is." And that motivation never comes. So if you sit and wait for the right time to get involved, you'll never get involved. What you do is you start the work, you go start picking up dog shit, and halfway through you go, oh damn, I'm motivated to finish this. And now I'm gonna go learn and put in the effort to get this across the line. But if you don't start it, you never get motivated to finish it. You just got a pile of dog shit and hopes and dreams.
Best analogy ever. And going on from your analogy about picking up dog shit, you also learn along the way because you go, oh, maybe I should wear a glove next time.
Exactly. It's like, dang, I can get 3 of these in one scoop and save my back.
Oh, I love it, man. But again, it really is. It's so true. Just do it. Just go out, do it. If you think you can, if you think you can't, you're right either way. I saw Golden Sparrow had his hand up. I'm not sure if you're wanting to ask a question.
Yeah, no. I was just gonna tell you guys. No, thank you so much for space always. Chris, you are always saying that because you're a bricklayer, you should be doing better and so on and so forth. I have to tell you, bro. I love putting ice around Kaspa, and usually I do it with friends or friends of friends. And something happened to me, and actually it was with a Brit. This guy's a banker. I'm trying to get him like green pill on Kaspa. The guy's like a banker. He's working in a British bank. By the way, I'm not gonna say which. And the guy says, no, it's crypto's a scam. I cannot use crypto. And I was trying to just download a Kaspa wallet. I will send you one Kaspa. It's worth less than 10 cents. And the guy's like, no, because of compliance, I cannot do this. Like an absolute idiot. Okay, long story short, I'm telling the guy, I mean, dude, like, okay, it doesn't matter you don't have any interest, but okay, your bank market capitalization is $60 billion, okay? Kaspa market cap is $2 billion. Friday, your trading stock was lower than 100 million. Kaspa volume on Friday was, over 100 million volume. Maybe you want to take a look at this. And the guy, there's just some people, they will never do the homework. So you're doing great, brother. You're doing really good. By the way, I'm just sorry. It's 1 a.m. here. I'm super sleepy now. I was just gonna say I will be in Berlin. Hopefully, I will throw a bump at the event, like a good news bump kind of thing. But I wanted to tell you something. There is something very, very OG, and this is like high level alpha. There's a noodle place in Beijing called Chunqing's Noodles. Chunqing Noodles is from Sichuan. I will drop the address of this stuff. I will arrive around Thursday. I don't know, but maybe we can do something on Friday evening. I don't know how is like the side events happening so far. Is there such thing already taken? But we could do like a freaking noodle Friday or something, beer. Anyways, if someone shows up early somehow. So yeah, I will just drop the name of the place, and we can maybe get them to accept Kaspa or wash the dishes, because no one will pay him dirty fiat, and that's it. So yeah, those are my 2 satoshis of the night.
Dude, I like this plan. We hold them hostage. You're accepting cash, or we're not paying. I'll be there the 10th, so I can join into anything that you guys want to do.
I absolutely love that idea, because I mean, if we do it to enough places, we'll definitely make the news.
In one capacity or another.
Yeah, definitely. Golden Sparrow, bro. Like I follow you a lot, and you just seem to fly everywhere, and you meet all these. I mean, I don't know what you do, whether you're James Bond or whatever the fuck you do, but you are everywhere, and I love your post, man. It's just everywhere you see is the Kaspa colours. Everything. Like I don't know where you are, whether you're in Kaspa Island or you've made your own, whatever it is, but you see Kaspa colours everywhere. It's awesome, man. And so again, you do an incredible job for Kaspa and adoption, and you obviously know a lot of high net worths, and you obviously push Kaspa on them a lot, which is incredible.
I don't know if I know like people, but yeah, just I try my best. I used to cook chicken for a living 2 months ago, so yeah. Why can I know? It's all good, man.
You're a legend. I do hope you do manage to make it to Berlin. It'd be awesome to have a drink with you as well, man.
Speaking of Berlin, bro, awesome segue on over to Nacho and Ashton. Ashton, there's been a lot of questions that came through in regards to the Kaspa experience when Kaspador was talking, but I'll let you get into your updates first before we ask them, man. What's going on? Talk to me. It's been a minute since we had a chat. What's been happening?
It has been, man. Yeah, I missed my second BB space last week in last, I don't know, 8 months or something. It always feels really weird. I get to the end of Monday and I'm like, it's
that,
just,
bro. I really
like
can't believe.
empty.
I'm so upset. So
Yeah,
upset you did that,
rightfully
bro.
so.
Unbelievable. Chris almost
Hold me
never turned up
accountable.
either. You wait until I see you in Berlin.
First meeting, as long as it's not a push-up competition, because I am not doing that. But yeah, Kaspa experience is gone great, man. It's we are finalizing things. I'm always a nervous wreck about this stuff on timeline and stuff, but we got a bunch of materials ordered. Almost all of the sponsor booths are designed and sent off to the printer. Finalized the poker event and the actual dealers that'll be there running that. Craig, the visual eye, is well on the way on the Art Expo, and it's looking great from what I've seen so far. So everything is moving right in line. We're in like the final home stretch of just getting this across the line. I think in total, from an attendee perspective, we're still about half of the max capacity, but we're pretty happy with being able to collect that many people and get them in a single spot in CAS. And I think there's still a good opportunity for more from local students in Berlin, because there's still those campaigns going on. They seem to be gaining a little bit of traction. But yeah, everything at this point from the event side is just like buttoning things up. The check-in process, the loading of Kaspa on wallets as people check in. We were working through that last week, and I think what we'll do is very similar to what Luke and some others did in Sydney. They had these cool, I don't know if you guys remember, they had these cool little like fortune cookies, and you opened them and it had a seed phrase where you could get a few dollars of cash. And it's kind of like a giveaway, right? Some seed phrases had more, some fortune cookies had more, some had less. But this seems like the most straightaway version to load this CAS is actually giving someone a preloaded wallet that they can use at the event. They just type in those digits to their Castle wallet. It's all loaded, and then of course do what you want on site and move the rest to your other wallet if you choose to. Should keep everyone safe and secure too, with a lot of those. A lot of activity and wallets being used in person at an event like that. Probably best if we don't encourage people to connect their main wallet to apps at different booths and stuff, and they can just use a disposable for the event. So whatever, I'm waffling over a lot of details, but we're basically just buttoning things up, and it's well on its way.
It's going to be an awesome event, man. It really has. You like massive props to you and everyone else who's really worked hard on this, because it's coming together really, really nicely. And yeah, I can't wait.
Oh, dude, I'm right there with you, and I fully agree. We have to pass along all that appreciation and admiration for their work to these guys, because I think the majority of what I contributed was in DMs like, we're not done with this yet. Can you tell me when it's going to be done?
There's been some incredible workers in the background that sometimes don't get
get seen because maybe they prefer to be in the background or whatever. But yeah, like you said, they've done like it's such a good group effort. It's incredible, really is.
Yeah, I mean, the event itself, like Kasper said, I mean, everyone's welcome. It's a decentralized representation of the Kaspa ecosystem, but I mean, there was there was a lot of decentralized control in just setting up the event itself. I mean, everything, right? Chad and his team did a lot of graphics, but not all of them. We also have a community volunteer vote from the Nacho community that contributed some signage graphics and like sponsor wall logos and stuff like this. You've got Craig doing the art expo side, you know, Web3 Poker and Levendi doing that front. So it's it really seemed like a pipe dream if we go back to Bucharest, you know, sitting at lunch with Kasper and Chris from our team and Monica from KEF and ideating on it. It's exciting to see it at this point. And I guess even more exciting in a couple of weeks.
100%, man. And it's gonna be the biggest Kaspa event, certainly Kaspa only event, that's ever been done, which is awesome. Like that must feel good for you guys and everyone who's set this up. Like this is going to be a big event.
I just learned that that's true as you said it. So yeah, it feels good, but also holy shit, that's a lot of responsibility.
Oh yeah, shit ton. Yeah, shit ton. No pressure, but no, it is. It's going to be great. And it's like you said, it has been a group effort. It's been a lot. It's been a very decentralized process, and like even down to because there was never ever going to be an art exhibition at all. Like that was never sort of even thought about, and then obviously the Visual Eye came along and really sort of got this kick-started, that sort of part of it, and to the point where I'm not an arty person at all, like really at all, but I'm actually looking forward to the art exhibition side of things because the Visual Eye is a great person. Obviously Boku I think is an awesome guy as well, so I'm actually looking forward to just that section alone. I'm looking forward to, and I'm not even an arty guy, and I know there's a lot of actual arty guys out there that or arty people out there that will appreciate the exhibition. So yeah, it is going to be an awesome event, and I cannot wait for it. Can't come soon enough.
Yeah, for sure. And it's so cool. I mean, it's just a representation of the people in this space too, because I think Craig and the Visual Eye are a great example of this, where, you know, I'm not artsy at all either, right? Math, maybe a little bit of code here and there, but no creative stuff. I'm not good at it. And, you know, the first idea was someone saying like, hey, we should show off some NFTs at the event. You know, and our thought is like, yeah, hell yeah, let's get some JPEGs and put them on monitors and spread them out around the event. It'll be cool looking. And, you know, we talked to Craig and he goes, well, you know, we could do this really well, and we could set up like an actual exhibition. And it's just, you have that moment where you're mind blown, you know, you're like, oh my God, I didn't even realize this was possible. And you know exactly what you're doing. So this space seems to bring out experts in certain fields that you wouldn't have assumed otherwise. And they're just willing to help and do it the right way.
Totally agree. I mean, I might even build a extension whilst I'm at the event and show off my expertise as well.
You can extend the event.
Yeah.
Secret party, let's go. Fuck it, hey. Find the secret door.
Oh,
I love it.
Yeah, man, but it's moving right along. Everything's good. Definitely still have time to get a ticket if you want to, but you're running out of it. But weekend has been crazy, to be honest, because the biggest updates were really Moonbound related and another project that we started. But Moonbound went through an official feature freeze this weekend, so we went through really heavy testing after freezing our feature set for mainnet. And I mean, between the general public beta testers, some of the mods, some of the Zealous swap team that helped, I think there were like 45 different issues they found. None of them critical, none of them logic related, all essentially just UI and experience like polishing on the site. So We actually pushed a PR for, I want to say 90% of those fixes about an hour ago. So the current testnet environment, testnet.moonbound.gg or betatest.moonbound.gg, they both go to the same code, is live for basically what we're going to see on mainnet this weekend, early next week, depending on what Casplex does. So everything's working, tested, audited, secured. Definitely go in there and run more tests. But I think this weekend we saw close to 100 tokens created just in the testing sprint that we did.
Again, like the numbers have been pretty good consistently as well, haven't they? Which is awesome. And I always suspect that testnet is never going to get the same sort of volume as mainnet. Like I always expect mainnet to actually get more volume.
Oh, fully agree. Like a decent order of magnitude more too, because you just have a total psychological problem with people going, "Oh, I'm not going to test. It's not worth my time yet."
Exactly that. So yeah, and to see those numbers like from Moonbound, from Zealous, from I mean, there's to be honest with you, there's loads of protocols and projects that are building out, and it seems like the numbers have been consistently good, which is really hopeful. So again, Casplex Layer 2 is going to be, I can't wait for it. I really can't wait.
Oh, it's going to be huge. And I think that's a perfect segue to talk about the next thing. So the topic that's been kind of on a lot of people's minds, I think, since we had a timeline for L2 was KRC20 tokens and KRC721 NFTs. Are they going to be bridgeable? Are they going to smart contracts, right? And we've seen a lot of projects talk about bridges that they're creating. I think KSPR has one in their testnet bot already in Telegram. I think, if I remember correctly, Kaspa.com said they were working on one. But it's really important that people move slowly. And there's a small announcement that we have. To cut to the chase, we are working on a bridge, and we are working on making it actually properly decentralized and a two-way bridge. So it's both directions, and we don't silo any markets. I'd say we're probably already 75-80% done, and it's our big priority this week. So we expect it to be able to launch with Moonbound. But the bigger, more important conversation in my mind here is that people need to move slowly and pay attention to bridges they use, right? I mean, if you're going to trade an ERC20 token that was created on Casplex, right? Maybe it's a Moonbound token, maybe it's something from Kaspa.com's launchpad. The risks here are just the same as like normal EVM risks, right? You got to pay attention to a contract address and what dApps you connect your wallet to, all of these kind of standard Ethereum smart contract risks. But if you're looking at paying attention to existing KRC20 tokens that already exist on L1 and either bridging them or trading them on a DEX on L2, you've got to pay attention to the contract address of that new token on the Casplex L2. We have every intention of creating the Nacho token contract as soon as Casplex launches. And this means that Nacho is very unlikely to be bridgeable through any of these other bridges that are out there, right? Kaspa.com or KSPR or any other that comes out. Because the ERC20 contract needs to have the permissions granted to the bridge to be able to mint those tokens when they're bridged to L2 or burn them when they come from L2 back to L1. So it's just like a PSA to everybody. We don't have another opportunity with a BB space before August 31st. Like, look at your projects, go into their Discord or their Telegram, talk to the devs and figure out exactly what Godes or Kangos or Caspers or Nacho's contract address is on L2 from the team directly. If another bridge comes out and creates a secondary contract on the L2, you might be bridging to an unofficial token just because the system is allowing that. So I think it's a really big opportunity for us to move slowly. If you're using new L2 stuff that was created on the L2, it's not as big of a deal. But if you're trying to do anything with L1 assets, on this L2, you need to dot every I, cross every T, verify every contract address, and know that the bridge you're using supports the token you want, and be careful about it. So super long-winded. Am I making any sense?
Yeah, I'm with you. I just to take it back. You mentioned two-way bridge, right? So you don't silo any markets, right?
Yes.
Which is key. To my understanding, though, with a two-way bridge, it was always I always understood it. Correct me if I'm wrong here. That I would be able to flick between any layer two, but you've just gone into something else that doesn't correlate that.
I don't fully understand your question.
So a two-way bridge means that what I understood it to mean was that I was able to take my token two ways from layer 1 to layer 2, but any layer 2, not just Casplex, not IGRA as well, and any other layer 2 that comes up.
I don't think that the definition of that meaning that you're using is right, but I think it's basically the same result anyway. So two-way just means both directions, right? Two-way road, we drive cars, we go both directions. Where we're going on either side is kind of irrelevant to the concept of two-way. It's just, can I go both directions? So as of now, any bridge that comes out will only support KRC20 on the L1, which is convoluted, right? I think technically this is its own little L2, but we've spent a year talking about it as KRC20 on L1. So maybe for understanding, we can continue that pattern. So the KRC20's tokens that exist today, just like Nacho, and the Casplex L2 version, which would be smart contract-based tokens. The second conversation of can we move between L2s is just for a later date. It's possible. It's actually far easier than going from inscriptions to smart contracts, but until IGRA's network is out or we have like a test net to play with publicly, it's just kind of irrelevant, right? We can add on that feature later or create a separate bridge that allows you to go from, Casplex to IGRA. So all these things are possible. They're just not really relevant yet because we only have one L2 launching. But the way I envision it long-term is actually separate bridges, right? You have two-way bridges. So I can go from KRC20 to Casplex, and then I can go from Casplex to IGRA. I'm not entirely sure if a third bridge of IGRA to KRC20 would make sense since you have, the two-step process available as well. So, but they're all future discussions. They're just not relevant, I don't think, until there's two L2s that exist.
Cool. Thank you for explaining that, man. It makes more sense to me now. And the other thing you mentioned was about every project having its own bridge means that they're not tradable on each other. I didn't get that part.
They just have to create. You have to create a KRC or an ERC20 token contract for your token, right? Just like if I was going to go launch one on Base or Arbitrum or Ethereum mainnet, I would need to go create a token that describes what Nacho is, right? The supply, the permissions for whether they have taxes on trading, and right, you're familiar with these contracts. The contract itself gives permissions to a certain bridge or a certain wallet address or something to be able to do things with that contract. So there's no way that I can create an ERC20 token contract for Nacho and then just arbitrarily give permissions to Kaspa.com's bridge to mint it, right? I'll need to know what their bridge wallet address is. It would take a lot of integration and collaboration work to get it to work. It's certainly possible to get it to work, but what I worry about is numerous bridges coming out that create their own ERC20 token contract for each token they bridge, and that causing numerous additions of the same token on L2, and the team saying, well, only this one is the real one. It's the one we created, right? This is the normal EVM problem, or even Solana problem, where you see a ton of the same ticker, ton of copycat tokens, but they're all different addresses.
Cool. So it makes more sense, man. I had to dumb it down for me. Just to wrap my head around it.
The key takeaway is just if you're going to go bridge an L1 KRC20 token to Casplex, verify the contract address that you're going to on the L2 is the same one that your token team or community or whatever agree is the real token on L2. Because we'll likely see, scam opportunities and just accident opportunities of numerous of the same tokens existing. People going, hey, well, I bridged to this one, and a team goes, well, who created that, goad token? It's not ours. It's not the real one.
I think it's best to follow up with a few instructions on how people can keep themselves safe, because I've seen exactly what you say play out over on other chains. So there's a few things that people can do if you're listening to this to mitigate any scams coming your way. Is don't expect any DMs, especially with links from any of these teams. You need to reach out to them yourself. Don't click on any random link you see in a group chat or on the timeline. When the time comes, dive into these Discords and Telegrams from the official teams and check their official links. Don't expect anything to come to you. You need to go and seek it yourself. Check the timeline for what's happening and follow the official links.
Yep, exactly. And there's just no reason to rush. Just because Casplex L2 drops on August 31st doesn't mean you need your entire bag bridged over and tradable on the DEX by 7 p.m. that night. Just take a few days, look at it, talk to the team, talk to the community members, see exactly what's going on, and look for those official instructions from them of, hey, this is our contract address on L2. This is the bridge we know works with this token asset. And test small amounts. Maybe try bridging 1 token, not 1 million the first time.
100%. Yeah, really glad you said that, actually, Ashton, because like you said, there's going to be a lot of opportunities that aren't going to be great for people. So yeah, check twice, send once. Just verify, and make sure that contract address matches up with whatever token you're dealing with.
Or if not, you're not sure, just DM me and I'll give you my address. You can send it all there. Thanks.
Well, I think the same PSA exists for token creators or project teams too. If a DEX has already bought liquidity of your token, you're going to want to pay attention to how that liquidity gets moved to the L2. Is it being transitioned to the correct ERC20 contract? Does that mean that you have to use a certain bridge to get the same one, right? Just look into it and verify it, because no one knows anything yet. It's all just a bunch of hearsay and plans until we see it on mainnet. But measure twice, cut once is the saying.
100%, man. Yeah, definitely a good message to put out there to people. Levendi, is there any questions?
Oh, I was wrestling with my mic again. Bloody hell. Yes, so there was a couple of questions that came through early on from Kaspa Queen. I pinned one up at the top. She's saying, I hear there's strict door restrictions and dress codes. Anything we should know for the Nacho birthday celebration?
That's the first I've heard of that. I don't know. I mean, I think just general, I don't know, semi-professional approach. Don't get yourself in trouble with the law and you're probably fine.
Awesome.
No ETH or Litecoin shirts though. You know what I mean? Don't bring any of that shit.
There it is. There's
This gas stuff.
Can you imagine someone comes in an orange Bitcoin shirt?
Maybe that's the only one we can be okay with, right? Because it's it kind of makes sense. But this is marketing content for a year to come. Don't put ETH or Doge in the marketing content.
Bro, you should not have said that. You know what t-shirt I'm going to bring now.
You know that we're making custom Kaspa Experience event t-shirts and selling a bunch of good wares. So we're going to treat it like high school and dress code you. Give you a RTK shirt to wear.
RTK? What? There's an RTK merch store?
I don't know. I think they were talking about setting one up.
You don't even know, bro. Nobody knows. Crypto's best kept secret, I'm telling you.
Kaspa Queen did ask though if there is an official speaker lineup being released.
Yes, there is, and we have it on the. We finalized a printed version for the back of the badges, which you'll be able to keep long term with you. But yeah, I'm almost done with the website update. But we have a full day of it, so it runs. I think first one's 9:30 a.m. We've got speakers running till about 4. There's a small break for lunch, and then Development Expo projects start presenting at 4. So we'll hear from, I believe, 3 of those at this point on their projects. A couple of them we've seen out there live already. Casway will be there, the point of sale. But there's one in there that I don't think we've heard anything of yet on the timeline. So you'll have to hear about it first in Berlin.
Oh, exclusive. I like that. I like that. Hopefully somebody can knock me out on a table so I can come around the corner and listen to it.
Oh, that won't be a problem.
I need it.
For Chris.
Where's Chris? Yeah, where's Chris? I was about to say. He's going to come with his medals. Fucking hell. Awesome, man. Awesome. When are you planning on releasing that speaker lineup, by the way? Do you have a date set yet?
No, yeah, it's literally just me finishing it on the website.
Oh,
I
cool.
could post an ugly version right now, but less than 24 hours. How about that?
Hey, yo, awesome. Hope that answers your question, Kaspa Queen. Yeah, I think that's it for the questions that come through. Thanks for answering them, bro.
Yep, absolutely. I kind of buried the lead a little bit on the bridge that we're building, but to do a two-way correctly, we need multi-sig for KRC20. So that's finally happening. You know, a year that we've been talking about it. We're going to have a multi-sig that supports inscription assets, KRC721, KRC20, and then those will actually be able to be decentralized in releasing the L1 assets if anyone ever wants to go back from L2 to L1. So I don't want to make any specific claims because I don't know a ton about other bridges that exist in their architecture, but a couple of the technical guys on the team, when we started mapping out the architecture of this, were really excited about how we run under the assumption that any bridge we create is just certainly going to be controlled by one party. It just has to be controlled by one party. And we found out through this architecture that that's not true, and it's not mandatory, and we're not doing it that way. So I think it's pretty exciting. And we'll obviously release that code and stuff when it's done and all secure so that everyone else can get inspiration and see how they could create their own version of it too.
Yeah, that's massive. That's brilliant. Yeah, really looking forward to that. I mean, it is much needed. So I'm glad it is getting built out. And like you said, I know there's other bridges under development or have been developed. But yeah, I think it is really, really important to, like any bridge, it doesn't matter what bridge it is, any bridge you're using, you really should, like you said, tread carefully. You don't have to go all in at once. You don't have to move the whole amount of your token stash in one go. Do some test transactions, make sure it's going to the right place. And yeah, it's going to be awesome.
Exactly. And just to save my DMs later, I'm not saying anything negative about anyone else's bridge or products, or I don't know how they're doing it. I don't know what their architecture is. Maybe it's better than what we're doing. I have no idea. All I'm saying is verify that the token they say they've listed on the bridge has the same contract address as the team that created that token. Because anyone can create an ERC20 and then load it on their bridge and say, hey, transfer your nacho. And if it's not the same contract address, it's not going to make it to centralized exchanges or DEXs or liquidity pools or anything the way you think it is.
Just a quick question. If anybody did accidentally do that, is there a way they can get it back, or it's just lost completely?
If it's an honest team and a two-way bridge, then yes, they can simply burn their L2, their fake token they created in the bridge process, and go in reverse, bridge back to L1. If it's a one-way bridge, no. If it's not an honest product, then the whole goal was likely to get people to do this and not let them go back.
Okay, cool. That clarifies that, man. So again, extra steps. Be careful when you're bridging over. Seems like it's going to be very delicate process.
Yeah, and I think generally, anytime I bridge anything, even on smart contract stuff on EVM, it always feels like a delicate process. You're literally taking assets from one chain and moving them to a brand new one. So be careful. It's not like you're swapping and you can just swap back.
I'm not gonna lie. When all these L2s were started to get built on ETH, I put off bridging anything for the longest time. I mean, Chris, you know me with contactless technology and bank accounts. You can imagine how long it took me to actually bridge anything on Ethereum.
I was just going to say as well, it's just best practices. It's not really mentioned or spoken about so much now that most DeFi ecosystems or blockchains are built out a bit more. But the best practice for bridging anything is always send a very small amount first, make sure that it all worked on the other side, and then you can start to send, once you've confirmed that everything's working, then you can start to send your larger amounts of capital or whatever it is you want. But best practice is always send a small amount first, and then once you've confirmed that everything's okay, then you can send the rest. Because if you lose 50 cents or $1, it doesn't hurt as much as losing a couple grand. So yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. Test transactions for sure. But yeah, it's pretty cool. Casplex in their code, for anyone who's familiar with KRC20, like the architecture and the way they do the transfers, they have this reserved layer in the script envelope that is like an empty text blob. It's just space for future use. Even in their documentation, they say it's reserved. It'll be used in the future, but not now. But we found a way to inject arbitrary data into that layer so that we can link an L2 EVM wallet with an L1 Kaspa wallet. So it's actually allowing the data that determines where the bridge goes to be recorded on chain and viewable by anyone. So you can literally just go to any Kaspa Explorer, look at what the bridge wallet will end up being, and you'll see in the signature script section of those KRC20 transfers, the data on where they're going on L2. So everything is fully transparent and verifiable. It's pretty cool how that architecture played out, in my view, at least.
Yeah, that's really cool. I bet Alex from Cassunder's going to have a field day of that as well.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I think
another underrated soul in the community, man, Alex. But Nacho Ashton, thank you for all those updates. He dropped a few bombs tonight, man, and they're not the smelly kind either.
Yeah, I'll save those for later. No, man. Yeah, it's been a hell of a couple weeks. I'm a little sick under the weather today. I think it's honestly just been a lack of sleep. These once we started this bridge project, it was like 3-4 a.m. every night, and that's why I missed last week. I just got up that morning and I'm like, I can't do this, man. Not today.
Shit, man, don't lie, man. You was partying away the night and just drinking away.
You realize I'm like in my mid-30s and have kids, right? Like, I wish you were right. I wish you were right. It would have been much better.
Man,
yeah, a party to me is like going to bed at 10 with a nice cup of coffee or tea.
I call them school days. Just getting the kids in bed is a party for me. It means I got a couple hours to myself.
Yeah, true. So true, man. But I mean, I could only imagine the amount of workload you've had. So yeah, like we said in the DMs, you can only do so much, man. There's no point spreading yourself that thin that you like at the detriment to your health. So yeah, have a long deserved rest after all of, like we say this every time, but you seem to just constantly want to keep building out.
Yeah,
I'm sure we've had this conversation before.
It's an addiction, and I can't break. But there's 3 dates I'm excited for. August 31st is the first one. We all know why. September 13th is the second one. We all know why. September 16th is when I get home from Berlin and I can be done with all this BS for a little while.
You say that. You say that.
Nap.
I guarantee. No, you'll have some. Yeah, you will. You'll have something. You'll get back and you'll go, oh, but like, what will happen? I guarantee it. At the event, you'll meet someone that has a brilliant idea. You both like gel off of each other, and then you'll go back home and fucking start that thing as well. I know it.
Well, yeah, you're probably right, but I hope you're wrong, kind of, or at least that this guy's open to a week delay. Because I want the idea, I can't turn down the idea.
Oh man, a well-deserved break is needed, man. So I hope you do get it.
Thank you, and thanks for having me up here, guys. Always good, fun Monday.
Appreciate your time, man. Always welcome. Chris, we've got a question from TK, a negative man T, from the audience, asking about any updates from Crumpet Media. I'd just like to say that the dev team is working hard behind the scenes, surprising us actually with the things they're working on. There is a statement that we put on the website where it says we will be releasing our infrastructure approximately a month after the launch of smart contracts, and I think we're pretty much on track to hit that. Correct me if I'm wrong, if Chris or if any devs in the back end hit a hurdle, then we'll let you know. But we're pretty much bang on. Things are being worked on. I cannot. There we go. I got corrected. Yeah, we're on track. No hurdles. Amazing. I can't wait to see the platform live. There's a lot of things. Well, actually, there's a few things that have changed. We're updating the what's the word? The white paper that we have currently up with all the new updates. As soon as we go live with everything, the first thing that's going to be happening is ZellaSwap. So you'll be able to trade your crumbs on ZellaSwap from day one. But as Ashton said earlier, just be careful when you're bridging your assets. Just check official links, official sites, and take caution. Test one, then if it works, send the rest. In terms of other updates, I can't say anything else because devs will kill me. As much as I'd like to, as much as I'd like to go into the details, I will probably get shot virtually. So I'm gonna stop there. Chris, I don't know if you've got anything else to add to it, but there is a lot that I want to start writing about, and I've been talking about for a while. So I can't wait to get stuck in, man.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I'll add to that is the people that are much smarter than us that are working in the background on the development side have actually shocked us as well with because the original vision we had for Crumpet Media was really cool, and we obviously really liked the idea behind it and thought it was brilliant. But actually, the devs that have been sort of working on this have come up with some really cool ideas, given it that sort of cypherpunk feel, and I can't say much more, but I'm really excited about the direction it's going, and I'm really looking forward to the end product of it. I think once it's out there, hopefully you guys are gonna love it.
And one thing to add as well, I've been gathering some news throughout this show in the last 24 hours. So expect an update from the Crumpet Media account as soon as we're in this space.
Well, this is it. Like, I've really, honestly, from the sort of birth of Crumpet Media, I really want people to write what they think is their truth, and then by doing that, because we don't want to censor people. We want people to write about what they genuinely care about, and by doing that, hopefully we can form a consensus as people of what we value as actual news, and not just be fed news from legacy and what people want to be, like the news people want to put in front of your eyes. We want us, all of us, to become the news. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to articles. I've already got one written ready to jump on Crumpet Media. There's people that we've approached who we think write really good articles as well, that are happy to write articles on Crumpet Media, which is fantastic. And there's people that I want to approach as well, that we've obviously noticed that write really good stuff on X that we think would be really beneficial to come over to Crumpet Media, or at least just write some fresh articles there as well. But also, it's not just about that. Like, Crumpet Media is obviously, we are on the Kaspa standard because obviously we love Kaspa, but we really honestly want Crumpet Media to be for everyone. So even for Litecoiners, nano holders, Bitcoiners, it doesn't matter. We want freedom of information to be flowing through Crumpet Media. So if you think if someone outside of our sort of Kaspa bubble thinks that Litecoin is better, write an article about why you think it is, and then, like I said, at least we can sort of form a consensus. I can see people laughing in the audience, but come on, we've like genuinely, I want that sort of. You don't want to live in an echo chamber. I think that's one of the worst things you could ever do, because you can miss that. And I think I've certainly noticed that with some Bitcoiners, and I can understand why. Don't get me wrong. I can understand why people get caught up in those echo chambers and they turn their blinkers on. But I never want to get to that. Like, as much as I absolutely love Kaspa, I will always try my hardest to check myself before I wreck myself. And the way you do that is by reading and listening to other people's ideas, experiences. And that's what Crumpet Media is about. It's about just having an open platform where you can get that information, and then hopefully, like I said, the community can come together, and not just the Kaspa community, the whole crypto community can come together and form a consensus on what they want to see as news. Oh, I don't think I actually drew a breath there.
No, bro, you smashed it, man, in one breath. You just outlined your whole vision. It's amazing. I was listening to him, my jaw dropped on the floor, man. That was awesome. That was awesome, man. I know devs are listening because I can see 11 other listeners down there. So I know you're hiding in between there. Please, when you get a chance, I know you guys have been really, really busy, but check your DM. I want to run past an idea for Crumpet Media that I've been floating around. Me and Chris have been talking about for a few months, and see if it's feasible. Awesome. Cool. Now that we've got we almost gave away what a Crumpet Media infrastructure was, I think it's the best time to slide away and bid our good nights, our farewells. Chris, what do you reckon?
Yeah, I think that sounds about right. We've had a good run.
Yeah, it's been awesome,
just
man.
quickly, Nacho, was there anything else you wanted to add before we close out?
Sorry, I had to find the mic button. No, not really, honestly. We can always use more Moonbound testing. Testnet.moonbound.gg. We're going to basically just polish things up, and any potential bugs that you may find, we'll fix them before mainnet. But features are frozen. So if you have feature ideas, jump into the Nacho Discord and just talk to us about it. We'll put them on a roadmap. Nothing else that you don't see on the testnet version online now will be in mainnet. So you're looking at what's live, and you can start getting used to it. The one exception to that is for any developers out there, maybe Cas under. I know the Casper Ghost team is working on an Explorer. I cannot remember the name of it, and I feel bad about that. But regardless, we've got a dev portal that we're finalizing for Moonbound as well, which can get you API keys. Not going to help with any type of trading or anything like that. There's no insider info there. But you can get read data from either Web 2 source, like I should say a CDN-based Web 2 source, so you can get faster Moonbound information instead of just reading the L2 contracts, which may take a lot to get all of the array of tokens that are there and stuff. So for anyone who needs dev access to Moonbound data, you can reach out to us and we'll onboard you there. Other than that, just Kaspa experience. Go check out the website, all the speaker lists that'll come out tomorrow, and get a ticket.
I'm glad you ended with a Kaspa experience, because somebody asked what's happening on the 13th. And of course you answered, man. It's called the Kaspa Experience event in Berlin, live and direct. Up to 500 people can attend. Grab your ticket. Have we got anything on the Jumbotron about it, Ashton? No, I don't think.
I don't think so either.
I'll get something added up there so that anyone listening back to the recording or now, you can easily get on there. Let me see. Yeah, Kaspa Experience. The latest post should be appearing up on the Jumbotron as we speak.
Cool. I just added it to comments of the space as well.
Awesome. Amazing. Good stuff. Looking forward to it. But yeah, no, I think we've reached a really good time to end the space. Would like to say thank you to every single one of you that came to listen and join the stage to update us on everything that you guys have got cooking. It's been a pleasure speaking with you. Also, big shout out to CryptoPumpz. He's back from his 6-year-long holiday and is absolutely gone direct into streaming our show again live on YouTube and on X right at the top there. Thank you so much, bro. Really do appreciate your work, and I hope you had a good holiday, man. So it's an absolute good night from me. Chris, over to you.
Yeah, just want to say a massive thanks to all the speakers that have been up here. Really do appreciate your time, and thank you so much for sharing all your updates with us. A massive thanks to the audience that listened to us. Again, I really do mean this. Without you guys, we wouldn't have a show. So really do appreciate all of you taking the time to listen to 3 hours of content, which is insane. So massive thanks to you guys. And yes, a massive thanks to CryptoPumpz for finally deciding to come back and record these. I was on holiday as well, CryptoPumpz, but I still managed to show up. No big deal. I'm only joking, man. Absolutely, really do appreciate you. If you don't follow CryptoPumpz on X and on his YouTube channel, then go and like, follow, subscribe, do all of that cool shit with the bell and everything. He's well worth listening to. Great content. And yeah, that's it from us. We hope you came for the blockchain but stayed for the